City, 828-245-7302, or visit the website at olmstedplumbing.com. Olmsted Plumbing is now hiring for skilled service technicians and skilled equipment operators. Looking for a new car? Maybe a pre-owned car or truck, or maybe an SUV? Then let your fingers do the walking and go to whatsupshopper.com. Local dealers with local vehicles. You don't have to drive all over the country. Just click on whatsupshopper.com and take a look at the local selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, and more from local dealers in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties. Car shopping just got easier by going to whatsupshopper.com. Pick yours out today.
Now open the all-new BMC Toner Solutions. Now open at 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia. The new BMC Toner Solutions can save you up to 50% off retail on your printer ink cartridges. Extra large inkjets, just $12.99 for black and $14.99 for color. Just call 704-862-7333. They're open 9 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 9 to 2 on Friday, open every third Saturday from 9 to 2. The new BMC Toner Solutions, now open at 410 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia.
For businesses and individuals in North Carolina, United Bank is the partner who can help unite today's vision and tomorrow's greatness. They build lasting relationships and provide exceptional service. It's this commitment to people and communities they serve that sets United Bank apart. United Bank, member FDIC.
The game plays right here.
Are you ready for some football?
Yeah! Your sports leader, WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, and WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
Hello, this is Milton Baker inviting you to listen to NASCAR Racing right here on WCSL 1590 AM, 92.3 FM, and KTCBroadcasting.com.
To another Saturday morning sports talk with Kevin Hastings, Hunter Yancey, Tom Stefani, and Terry Reinhardt. And as always, making them sound good, JP at the soundboard.
JP.
Yes.
Come here for 1 second.
Okay.
I want to give you this because I forgot to put one in your room. I'll go get my own here in a minute. Give you something to do. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is another beautiful Saturday morning here in North Carolina, and take those in there. You're going to be responsible for actually doing, some work today and reading. We've got scores from last night. High school football across the area. Great times here in the studios. We're going to get you all those in just a minute. Then we've got East Lincoln. And what are you looking for, Tom? Oh, it is behind me. Sorry.
Tom, he was wanting to know.
It's somewhere in here. I know. It might be those that got knocked down there. Good morning, everybody. It's Friendship, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Forest City, and Friendship Nissan of Forest City. Saturday morning sports talk. I want to thank Tom Sporgello and the gang up there for supporting us every Saturday. And Tommy's got some phone numbers for them and addresses.
That's right. The Friendship Dodge, Jeep Dodge Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. And Friendship Nissan is 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. You know, some people have been telling me their Joe Biden money showed up in their account last night. So I tell them, take that Joe Biden money down to Friendship. Put you a down payment on a new ride, Terry. That's what you need to do. I know you got some of that Joe Biden money. Of course, you'll probably hold on to it, probably go out and bury it in your backyard.
Now, speaking of that, Tom,
Well, I don't know. Terry, do you do direct deposit or do you still prefer handheld checks?
You know he's got it buried
it's
out
buried
his
in the
backyard.
dirt. What are you
Buried
talking
out
about?
his backyard.
You know, speaking of that,
I'm
Tom.
so glad y'all know more about me than I do.
Right, I know, right? Speaking of that, Tom, you know, you talk. I like, you know, to focus on one of my things is media bias. So Washington Post headlines talking about the stimuluses. When Trump put it out, it said Trump gives Americans money so he has his name on the check. That was the headline from the Washington Post. This time when it came out, it says Biden cuts poverty by giving $1,400 checks to Americans.
Oh, Lord.
Whoever's opinion you're on, either way, the same paper with the same checks, those were the two viewpoints from it. So insane, like just watching some of this, and make sure you where you get your stuff. That's Tom's favorite guy. Bezos owns that, so you know he's got so much money he can make up whatever story he wants to. But anyway, we give you all the scores and highlights and everything else on the shows. We had some good games last night. We've got ACC basketball on KTC broadcasting. We've had that this week. Had North Carolina last night, and Florida State. Florida State wins. And Terry, you said Georgia Tech. Now, is that tomorrow, right?
That's today.
Oh, that's today? What was time? What time was that?
8:30 tonight.
That wasn't on my list. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So Georgia Tech, Florida State. Now, does the tournament start Tuesday next week? They're playing like
NCAA.
So these teams are playing like how many games in a week?
Well, it depends on who's going to be there. So many teams are jumping out now. I mean, you know, is Virginia going to be eligible to be able to play in it?
They're hoping.
Because
Kansas is hoping.
They can be replaced.
Yeah.
Duke, well, their season's done.
Yeah, they're done.
And what about Oklahoma State beating Baylor last night? Well, they got a superstar kid had 27 points against them.
Cunningham. Either he wins or he loses.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know,
all
but
on him.
the teams that are getting hit with COVID, I mean, and it's, of course, they don't have all the information outside of what we know about Duke. They had to put out there it was a walk-on. They had to throw that poor kid under the bus and say it was a walk-on that had COVID and ruined their season.
Did they really?
Yeah. I mean, but we don't know who it was for Virginia
I think their
and Kansas.
season was ruined when Carolina swept them this year. But
I think so too, but I'm just talking about how they didn't get to play any more games in the ACC tournament, and they would have had to win out the ACC tournament to be in. So they had to throw out there. It was like, well, that ruined all our plans because a walk-on had COVID.
But now they're talking about Virginia. Virginia will be tested today, and they will be tested tomorrow.
Yeah, because Virginia had to be quarantined in Greensboro, so they weren't even back yet.
Yeah, to see what happens to them. I mean, wouldn't you hate to be the number 2 team out of the ACC since Florida State won it? But no, Virginia was number 1, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, Virginia was
the
number 1.
one
Yeah,
seed.
FSU blew it at the end, at end of the season.
So
But wouldn't you hate to be that team and all of a sudden them say you're ineligible to play?
it would be tough.
well, so who are all the big names, guys, that may not be playing?
Well,
in
the ones that I can tell you right now
Virginia,
is
Kansas.
Virginia and Kansas.
Duke. That's what I'm saying. Everybody, like who's not all.
Oh, well, Duke's
Like, not making the
making
tournament.
it.
Kentucky's not making it this
Kentucky's
year.
not making
No.
it this year.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
First time since '96.
and this is first year, and I think they said 24 straight years that Duke is not making the NCAA tournament.
'96.
Mhm.
I mean,
JP.
1995 was the last time they didn't make it.
Alan Chapman sent me a text, and he said
Get
he
ready.
started working at West Lincoln
Yeah.
in 1995-96,
Mhm.
and this is the first time that Duke or Carolina has never made it into the finals. So
Yeah.
Well, you know, I have a theory on all these teams not making it and bowing out. Now, remember, Hunter, if you'd have said last Saturday, I think you asked me what is Duke gonna take the NIT invite? And my response was, no, they're gonna get Corona. And I meant to pull up the audio because I wanted to read it again, but here we go. All joking aside, Duke's out with Corona. Coach K and everybody. And, my theory, Hunter, Yancey, and Terry, I'm glad you're here. It's been, 20 years since something else happened in basketball around here in NCAA. Hit it, JP! Hit it, JP! There you go! Mountaineers in the tournament. Coach K wins. Terry, is it a coincidence? Yes or no? I know the answer is Terry. Come on. Mountaineers in the tournament. Don't look at me like that. Where's the Wolfpack? They ain't there. Where's Duke? They ain't there. Where's Kansas? Where's Kentucky? Fight. 20 years, they're back in the tournament, and everybody quits. Everybody's scared. Mountaineers, led by Adrian Dale, 22 points in the Southern Conference Championship game, Kings Mountain. AD. Now, he wasn't the leading scorer. The other guy had 32, but they did win the Southern Conference. And now the good news is, Hunter, being a 15-16 seed, we talked about last night with Tommy, they could get Michigan.
You're right. They could get close to Michigan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what they said back in 2005, Tommy. Woo!
They got them 2 7-footers and that big boy from Germany. They will absolutely flatten Appalachian State.
What did Muhammad Ali say about George Foreman, about the big man?
I'll just tell you. I will actually DVR a Michigan Appalachian State just to revel in the delight of watching Appalachian State be absolutely destroyed. Even though I hate
what's so
Michigan.
bad about that, Tom will be pulling for Michigan to destroy a local kid.
Because all he does is run his mouth about Appalachian.
Listen,
It's been 20 years.
No, this is what's so
all
crazy,
he does.
Kevin. Tom is sitting here as an Ohio
Ohio
State
State fan.
saying
I
he
would
will root
still-
for Michigan.
What an
I would
elitist.
still do it just because he runs his mouth about Appalachian
It's been 20
State
years.
every week. I'm
20
so tired of
years.
it. So because I have to put up with you every Saturday, I would just want to see him flattened. Just to see what kind of excuse he comes up
You wouldn't
with.
want to see App State beat Michigan.
Actually,
and
actually,
upset
it would
the
be,
world.
Actually, it'd be
and
win-win.
and be on ESPN all
if
over
Michigan
again.
loses, then I get to, okay, well, but if Michigan wins, I don't have to hear you. So
It is
either
not
way,
a
it's
coincidence
win,
that all
win.
the blue bloods are out and App State's in.
Not
But
all
I
of them.
actually think about it this
Not
way,
all
though.
of them.
Yeah, y'all want us in the first round? I think not.
But you got to think of it this way.
Listen,
We might
No,
be the
no.
best team in North Carolina.
You got to think of it this way,
Lordy,
though.
whoa,
you
my
never
Wait a minute
want
now.
you never want your conference to be put out by one of the little boys. Anyway, hurt your conference. You don't want that. You don't want that.
I think y'all are just conference people, and I just don't
So
care
weird.
about conference.
It's weird.
My dad's the same way. He's like, why don't you, say Duke was in the national championship, why don't you want to see the ACC
You don't
win?
pull
I'm
for
like,
the
why would I want to
Steelers?
see Duke win?
Do what?
You don't pull for the Steelers and Ravens.
I did not when I was
That's different in
young,
college.
but I do now. I mean, I want our conference to do good. I mean, ACC.
Now it's different
From
when
top
it's
to
the
bottom.
ACC Big Ten Challenge and it's pitting conference against
If
conference.
you're-
But most
but
everything
if
is head to
you're-
head.
if
So
you're-
I'm
if
like,
what
if your
hap-
conference is high level, it attracts recruitment. And
Yeah.
it helps
If
your school.
ACC plays the Big Ten, how many games they play?
they play all at once.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They,
Is it
they
10 or
like
12?
They like 10 or 12.
Let's say it's 10. I hope the ACC goes 9-1.
You hope that one loss is to who?
Yeah, Duke.
No. Okay. I'm about to say.
That's that. Yeah, you see,
I
no
understand
matter
that.
what, you can't pull for them, can you?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
I'm wondering if Terry's over
That's
here's got a Coach K
sacrilegious.
shirt on when Duke plays Ohio State.
You bleed
Who's
two
pulling for
colors
Terry?
of
Duke or
blue in
Ohio
this
State? They
state.
play each other in the national championship.
If they play each other in the national championship,
Yeah.
In my older days, I'd pull for Ohio State.
Here you
Nowadays,
go.
I pull for
He
Duke.
would pull for Duke because of me. Just like the
Is
reason
that
why.
the older day?
The reason why if NC State was in it, I would pull against.
And the
NC
reason you're
State.
pulling for App to lose to Michigan. Let's pull it. Hope that 16 seed gets waxed here, guys.
No, I'm just.
Are y'all
this
going to get in as a
Appalachian
16?
State.
I don't know. That's what
Love
some of the
fest
rumors,
we had
15,
today.
16. Depends how many other teams quit when they see our name on the ledger like
Well,
Duke.
you know what else it's gonna take is think about it. Villanova was the 1 seed in theirs. in the Big East, but they got upset by Georgetown, and they're not even in the Big East championship. Georgetown is. So if Georgetown wins, how did that hurt Villanova when the seedings come out? Or was it already set in stone that Villanova was probably going to get top 2 or 3?
It's probably minimal impact now, but I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, like if you're Virginia a couple years ago, and
we got to watch those too. What if they do say Virginia and Kansas can't play? Then that reshuffles who's getting what seeds.
Gardner-Webb almost beat Virginia the year that Virginia won the championship. Gardner-Webb almost beat them.
Technically, because we didn't have an NCAA tournament last year, Virginia is still the reigning national champion.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Do y'all believe in that ranking stuff?
What, the BPI?
Yeah.
I feel like it comes out every week that Terry just don't believe in it because NC State gets screwed by it.
No, I never said that this time.
What place are they? 12 now wanting in the tournament? I don't know. I haven't seen the standings in a while.
What's that?
State.
We finished ahead of Duke.
Penrose, y'all knows.
Hey, looky here. Yeah.
Holy roses,
but I mean,
Terry.
with all these teams being bumped out, State's got to be in there because they won 5 of their last 6 games.
We'll pull up the bracketology.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'm busy looking at this beautiful picture of Adrian Delph Dustin, a UNC Charlotte player.
Okay.
Tom, where'd you go to school? UNC Charlotte, right?
We hadn't had a good team.
Are y'all in the tournament in a while?
I was say
Cedric Maxwell.
Charlotte used to have good basketball.
What is sad about that is that arena used to be filled.
Oh yeah,
and used to be full of fans. Not causing now. I'm just talking about when they weren't. There was nobody in there the last 5-10 years, and it was. They did used to have good teams, but showing off some Adrian Delph. People was wondering on the radio what I'm talking about. You can watch on YouTube, folks, every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10:15 as well. Just go to our KDC Broadcasting YouTube channel or go to kdcbroadcasting.com and click on YouTube. I'm going to bring up some bracketology for you guys. I
don't like bracketology.
I know you guys are excited about,
Makes no sense.
App State.
Absolutely makes no sense. And the reason I'm going to say this, because I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
That's what you're here for.
That's like the women when they're bracket. Well, yeah, I'm going to talk about the women. Because here we are with North Carolina State, ACC champions. Yes. North Carolina State, ACC champions. South Carolina is the SEC champions. Okay, they played each other. South Carolina has 4 losses. State has 2, but they still want to say South Carolina is the number 1 seed. No way. I could care less what you think. Whoever's dealing with this, you must be on something. Get off of it. Get on some water or something besides whatever you're drinking, because there's no way that can happen. There's no way. Not when we beat them at their home court down in South Carolina and Columbia.
Do you think it's favoritism to a prior champion?
Why should it be? You had an opportunity to beat North Carolina State, and you'd lost on your home court to them, and then you're still going to be a number 1, and State's going to be a number 2. That's ridiculous. I don't even want to hear bracketology. That means nothing. That absolutely. I mean, North Carolina State needs to be in this NCAA thing if you want to go down to it, because we won 5 of our last 6.
NCAA thing? You mean the tournament?
Well,
the dance?
Well, who cares what it is now? It's bracketology and
that's
Joe Lenardi.
Someone that wasn't invited usually says that. Who cares what it is now? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's just how it goes.
All I know is when Yosef shows up at the dance, there ain't going to be no Blue Devil, no Mr. and Mrs. Wolf. We're going to try to dance with Mrs. Wolf,
Well, I will say this.
Sometimes,
Carolina,
Yosef.
Appalachian does not want a first-round matchup against no UNC Tar Heels.
We want
not with the 4 big guys they got that they can shuffle in that middle.
We want anybody. What happened last time App State played Carolina? Anything?
Well, yeah, okay,
Waxing.
Football. Yeah,
waxing. All right, here's the last 4 buys. Whatever.
I thought we were a basketball school.
UCLA, Michigan State, Louisville. Last 4 in Syracuse, Drake, Utah State, St. Louis.
There's somebody who played very little games.
And guess what?
And they're going to make it in.
And I said when Duke drew them to play, I said Duke's going to beat Louisville, because I don't like Louisville was what, the 3? They were the 3 or the 4 seed, and I'm like, how? You had a whole month where you didn't even play.
Yeah.
How can we reward that?
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't like this, because how are you the judge? That's like Virginia Tech was supposed to play Syracuse and North Carolina State to end the season. All of a sudden, they come down with COVID. You know what? I wouldn't want to play Syracuse and North Carolina State neither.
Think about it.
Because when they get into the tournament, they get beat.
Every time North Carolina was scheduled to play Virginia Tech this year, COVID happened to Virginia Tech. And then look what happened when they played each other in the ACC tournament. It's like, well, you're dodging us? Were you dodging us? And that coach got ACC Coach of the Year. I don't understand the last 4 teams and Louisville being a part of it, and Syracuse not being there. You know what I think Syracuse has had a better season.
It says
than
they're
Louisville.
in. Syracuse last 4 in.
Well, what's the one before it?
Louisville's in.
Oh, the last
Syracuse
4
is in.
buys.
Yeah. Here's the first 4 out. Colorado State, Memphis, Boise State, Ole Miss. Next 4 out. Seton Hall, Xavier, St. John's, and SMU.
Who's the last 4 in?
Syracuse, Drake, Utah State, and St. Louis.
Okay, well, here you go on all this. And there's another thing I do not like. When you go to your last 4 in, it's going to play on Tuesday night. It's always 2 powerhouse teams playing each other, while Southwestern New Mexico plays Northeastern Texas something in that other one that makes no sense. So one of them will have an NCAA tournament win.
No. The one that doesn't make sense to me is how you have 11 seeds playing to get in. Like, I understand the 16 seeds playing to get in, but I don't understand how you have 11 seeds playing to get in.
I don't understand how anybody is playing to get in, because it used to be the play-in was the tournament, right? Okay, we're done. You want in, win your tournament.
This could have been one of the years because of COVID and everything, where if they wanted to trim the fat a little bit, cut down on the
32
seeds,
teams.
They could have done it this year.
If you want the best basketball tournament, it's 32. If they want to make the most money,
especially if you're having everybody show up in Indianapolis.
No. It would have been good to cut it to 32, but you would have cut out a lot of pretty good teams.
Oh, yes, you would.
Yeah.
So Terry's complaining about the play-in game. That's where they got App State right now against Prairie View.
Okay.
Domination.
I don't know.
Yeah, go play somebody like that.
Now,
that shouldn't even be happening.
Now, if they win, they've got them against Illinois against a 1 seed, so that could easily be Michigan. What I don't like about that, though, is that those teams actually won their conferences. Why are they in a play-in game instead of? I think you should sacrifice whoever the last 4 in is, and have them play each other. Then they get the 1 seeds. I don't care. You want to win the championship, you got to win it. Knock off these crappy the 10th ACC team. Like, okay,
yeah, dude.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the line right now. Is 8 at Syracuse, 9 is NC State. So Syracuse gets in, and they've got they're going to be an 11 seed. It looks like. Well, they're playing Drake on a play-in game. But why? Are the conference champions? I don't understand why they have to do a play-in. Like Tom's just saying, like, you've played, you've won. That's the point of winning your conference championship. Now you've got to play again and beat another conference champion for the right to get to play Michigan. Like, bump that. Like, how about these 10 seeds? Syracuse is playing Drake. Okay. But when they win, make them play Gonzaga. Take that whoop in there in the second round. Because what? They could win 2 games. 3 games couldn't they? Didn't we have a team do that a couple years ago, go through? Terry, your team's right on the edge. But it don't have you as like the next 4 in or first 4 out, so I don't know how that's going to work. It's got like at least 8 teams ahead of you.
How many wins does State have?
Overall?
Maybe 13 and 10.
13 and 10. That's not.
That'll be borderline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean,
Louisville's
they're going to go by
13-7.
what you've done towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
They're going to look at that.
How'd y'all do against Louisville?
I don't even think we played Louisville.
Not
That's
many
what I'm
teams
saying.
did play Louisville.
Half of the teams in there never played Louisville because they was on COVID half the season.
They went 8-5 in the conference play. And I know Tom can't disapprove of Louisville being in the tournament.
I mean, when you look at it and you throw State in there, State was the only team to go to Virginia and win there.
What's Louisville's record?
13-7 overall.
They didn't
8-5
play
in
many
the
of them,
ACC.
Not just that.
It's just a weird year.
Speaking of Louisville, Rick Pitino's got Iona as the 1 seed in his conference, and he might win the conference championship and get in.
Yeah, he probably bribed a few guys over there. I'm sure he's up to some shenanigans wherever that guy
They
goes.
thought they could keep old Ricky P out, but
No, I'm telling
he's
you.
back.
Ricky P's a crook. Is what Ricky P is.
1 seeds Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, and Illinois. All right, JP. Y'all got any other news and notes on the college basketball?
What does it say North Carolina is? I saw someone.
I would like to say that you guys about Ohio State almost lost 5 in a row, had a 19-point lead, blew it, went to overtime. But a big game today, Ohio State, Michigan, their second crack at them. It's going to be a good game. Ohio State's such a Dr.
This for the
Jekyll,
Big
Mr.
Ten.
Hyde.
This is the championship game.
No.
This is a semifinal. But they just, I've listened to Ohio State all year, and they have had collapses in the ends of games. That one, now they did play well in overtime, but the the Illinois game, I think they were up 4 or 5. Illinois scores the last 10 points. I mean, they've got to fix the end.
Yeah,
You know,
gotta
at
be
the
able
end
to
of the game,
finish.
they got to fix that.
I just want you to know I'm
we'll
going to be
see.
pulling hard, Tom, for Iowa against Cleveland State, just to spite you on that one.
Cleveland State won. I watched a little bit of that ball game.
Yeah.
And from the Gamblers Anonymous hotline, my brother was betting on that tournament. He's like,
Oh, God.
Cleveland State got beat last night. I'm like, no, Danny, they won. He goes, no. He's like arguing with me because he thought like Cleveland State was on TV in the gym. He's like, no, they lost last night. So he's out there checking his phone. Oh, I won that bet. You may have a problem if you can't keep up with all your bets.
If you'd
I'm like,
won or
"Man,
lost."
you did chill out.
Did you say Virginia's in or out?
They're question mark right now because of COVID. Same with Kansas.
They got them on a
Testing
4
today and
seed.
tomorrow.
So they got Virginia on a 4. What do they have? Kansas.
Yeah. It's not in
Kansas was
alphabetical order.
close.
So I have to do some reading. 3 seed.
Imagine that.
Well, if Virginia gets knocked out, State's in a better position.
Imagine that. Kansas and Virginia both get knocked out. And it's not because they lost, because of COVID.
I mean, if I was everybody and I saw App State too, I'd quit. I just would. All right, JP.
Yes.
I want you to play the music that I just told you to play, and I'm going to read some scores. How about that? Then we'll go to
I
break.
can't.
What'd you do? Exit off?
Yes.
Jeez, you're fired.
I didn't know
Dad
you were
said
ready.
last week you're fired, that he fired you last night, and then he said, Kevin, make sure you fire him in the morning too. So I just don't know how you keep getting back here.
We
All you
keep
had to do
changing
was
the
be ready to hit
locks. I just
play.
don't understand.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like I tell my kids. I told you. I didn't say nothing about eggs and off and that. I don't know what you.
No.
Don't be extra.
I thought
Don't
you were
be
done.
extra.
I thought you were done.
Don't be extra. Gosh, Lee. All right, how about this, JP? Just for that, why don't you read the scores?
Okay, I'll do that. I don't have a problem with that. Last night was Kings Mountain 35. Was the Kings Mountain over Huss 35-0. Crest beat Ashbrook 42-6. South Point over over Kramer 42-24. RS Central over East Gaston 56-27. Shelby over Chase at 47-41. Burns over East Rutherford 54-7. Cherville over Highland Tech 33-12. St. Stephen's over Bessemer City 30-0. Pine Lake Prep over Christ the King 64-12. Jefferson over Mountain Island 25-21. C.S. Davidson over Union Academy 42-0. East Lincolnton over North Lincolnton. 40-30. Brandy's over Lincolnton. Yeah, that's wrong. Brandy's over Lincolnton 52-8. West Lincoln over Newton Conover 27-19. Watauga over Hickory 23-6. Alexander Central over Freedom 53-12. South Caldwell over McDonald.
McDowell.
Yeah, I got that.
I'm
McDonald.
sorry,
Jake. Come to
I'm sorry,
America.
JP. You were doing so good, and you hit
you watch Coming
McDowell
to
and said
America?
McDonald. And
Yeah, I know. I heard it just as I said it.
Go ahead, JP.
South Caldwell over
McDowell.
McDowell. I almost said McDonald again. McDowell, 50-0. High Brighton over North Rowan, 43-0. East Burke over Patton, 37-6. Bunker Hill over
Drone.
Drone, 44. I wasn't even going to try. 44-6, and West Caldwell over West Iredale, 47-15.
And one other thing, JP,
Yeah.
CS of Davidson is the Community School of Davidson.
Okay, gotcha.
All
There
right,
you go.
we'll be back for scores and talk a little bit more about that and more on KTC Broadcasting. Tom, it's Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship
right.
Nissan.
That's right. They're at Oak Street Extension in Forest City. You can call the Dodge dealership at 828-919-3001. Call the Nissan dealership at 828-245-1661. Take your Joe Biden rebate down there, Terry. Get you a new car.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. KTCBroadcasting.com.
Daniel Carter of North Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting WhatsAppShopper.com Scholar Athlete of the Month. Daniel is a senior at North Lincoln High School and plays baseball, football, and basketball. Daniel has a 4.41 grade point average with AP courses, including earth science, statistics, calculus, European history, and English literature. Daniel is a member of the National Honor Society and the Beta Club. He also plays American Legion Baseball in the summer. Daniel is a member of the Denver United Methodist Church. After graduating, he plans to attend Davidson College and play football. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What'sUpShopper.com Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete, not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship. It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
There's nothing like cash in your pocket, especially if you can turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling in Gastonia. For over 25 years, this locally family-owned and operated business has been giving some of the best prices for scrap. They take tungsten scrap carbide, as well as stainless steel, aluminum, copper, and brass. Need help? Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling will supply you with a roll-off container to help make your recycling easy. Turn your scrap into cash with the help of Gaston Used Auto Parts and Recycling. 305 Dogwood Street in Gastonia. Call 704-827-9468. Online at GastonUsedAutoPartsAndRecycling.com. Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville and the Falston Pharmacy in Falston are open to serve you. You can come on in and get your prescriptions filled, or you can continue to use their convenient drive-through window. And at Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville, the grill is also open for breakfast and lunch. You can even call your order in at 704-435-3259 and pick it up at the drive-through. And both stores are welcoming patient transfers. Buy local, shop local at Medical Center Pharmacy, 607 East Academy Street in Cherryville, and the Falston Pharmacy, Highway 18 North in Falston.
Thanks for help bringing the economy back, one local purchase at a time.
Kind of uplifts you and you feel better.
It's the greatest comeback of all time.
Shop local with What'sUpShopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
And welcome back to Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. We have a very special caller on the line, the one, the only Coach Pruitt of the Cherryville Iron Men.
Oh, Lord, Coach, you get all kind of nice introductions from JP.
That?
Well, y'all said something about me last week not saying anything, so I mean, I thought I'd say something this week.
Oh,
there you go. Appreciate that, JP.
You're welcome.
All right. Congratulations on your big win last night, Coach Pruitt. You defeated
Highland
Tech 33-12.
Tom can't see the board. That's
Why
why.
did you have to look around there? I know I've got it written down on paper too. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the game and how it went, Coach?
It was a good game. Started off with the ball and got down to the 5 and didn't punch it in. And then defensively, we played a lot better. Obviously, we gave up 12 points instead of, scores that were much higher in the first two games. But obviously, Highland Tech probably isn't as good as Chase or Pine Lake Prep. But I really was impressed with Coach Truesdale. They got a new coach this year, Coach Truesdale. He's doing a really good job. I've last several years in our program, we've always had either Tyler Beam, who went up to Brevard and kicked, or Andrew Beam, who started for us for at least 3 years. But Carl is over there helping, and he's been with Highland softball program. And it's good to see Carl and his family and Tyler and Andrew and all that family. Even though they were on the other side of the field, they're still family, so to speak, to us. So with that said, it was a really good football game, and our kids played hard. Other than maybe one injury, we came out pretty healthy. So we're excited about where we are heading into senior night this week. In the middle of the season, we're going to have senior night to go ahead and get it in. So we're ready for the next opportunity against Community School of Davidson.
Yeah, the Community School of Davidson has been, let's see, I think they got a win last night.
Over Union Academy.
Over Union Academy, yeah, 42-0. I don't know if you've had a chance to take a peek at the film, Coach, but what do they like to do, and what are you going to do about it?
Community School of Davidson, they hadn't changed a whole lot through the years. We've played them. That's probably the team in our conference we played more than others because we played them in the playoffs a couple times. And, they basically are a spread you out team. They like to throw the ball. They like to run it if you don't put enough people in the box. And on defense, they've done different things in the past. They've really loaded the box on us, which we see a lot. But last night, I don't have the stats in front of me. Haven't got to talk to Danny Aker yet. Appreciate Tim Johnson and Danny being there at Highland. They were over in a difficult spot over in the stands, basically, calling the game last night. But Austin probably threw for over 200 yards. So I think we are getting to the point with Cooper rushing for over 100 last night and Austin passing for what I believe was over 200 to be a little more diverse on offense this year. And we just got to get a little more consistent in our line play. We need to keep the ball away from them and have some good things happen in the kicking game. So it should be a very competitive game. And Coach Albert and I have a great relationship. And like I said, we've played them some really close ball games in the last several years and looking forward to it again.
Coach, I'm pulling up some highlights while you talk. If you want to kind of maybe mention maybe some of the touchdowns you got. I'm going over Chase Miller here. It looks like about the 30-yard line or so, 20-yard line or so to the right side and cut back up the middle.
We ran people call it a stretch play. We call it a reach play because in our offensive scheme we have a formation we call stretch. So we just tinker with stuff that people do. It's actually a play off of what Scott Satterfield and Louisville run with jet to one side and a stretch to the other. But we really felt like we could just run the stretch with a fullback lead. And once we got everybody settled in and getting on their man, it really allows our running back to run to where the hole is. And the defense can't really be right if they slant and angle or run a linebacker through. There's hopefully a seam there. And really Chase and Cooper do a great job of running that play. So that's something that's different in our offense this year. Last night we had 3rd and 9 and ran a screen to Christian, which was a big play in the game. And then later on in the game, Christian had well over a 85-yard reception. Not too many times does Coach Pruitt throw it from the 5-yard line, but it was there. And, well, it was there the play before, and we call what we call our quick crack scheme, which is a little bubble, and we crack the outside linebacker, and since the corner's off, we get space and try to make a play. Well, he changed the defense on the next play, and the guy was right out there in our face. And the wide receiver didn't hear me calling, hey, quick crack, call the crack. And he went ahead and stalked. And then Austin just held the ball and let Christian clear the outside linebacker, and there was nobody there. And Christian took it almost to the house. So those are things that I think we have the ability to do, and we have some playmakers that are going to help us in that area. So we're excited about where we are. We definitely played better on offense last night.
I'm going through my highlights. I think I might be missing something. Is that 2 Cooper Sloan touchdowns? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I got Austin Thompson with a touchdown.
Yep. Chase had a touchdown.
Chase Miller.
Yep. And I don't know. Cooper may have had 3. I'm honestly games are blurs sometimes, particularly in the world of COVID, because I'm sitting there worrying about getting tickets before the game. Things that I don't normally have to worry about, but that's part of it. I mean, the things that Coach Harrell is doing at our school during this time, and our ladies in the main office taking up ticket money and the things that we do, it's just a different world that we live in. But I'll go back and kind of brush through that a little bit more. But yeah, we did spread the wealth a little bit last night to different groups of people.
Well, Coach, as always, thank you for calling. Coming up next week, what's it looking like for you this week and going forward, getting prepared for another week of football here in the spring?
Well, we're get past this week. We're past the midway point of the season, and really for us, getting as many games in as possible is just a blessing. We actually played a JV game this past Wednesday night. We went over to Mountain Island Charter, and our JVs ended the first half on the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. We ran out of time. Second half, we had the ball on their side of the field more than they had it on ours. If you take away some big plays in the passing game, we've got a really competitive JV game between Mountain Island. We lost 21-0, but the game's probably a little closer than what the score indicated. So being able to get all of our kids, 46 kids in our program, on the field this week and everybody getting to play, is just something that's going to be beneficial to our program and to our kids and our community. I mean, that gives those kids a great outlet in the world we live in today. Parents, if you're out there right now wondering if your kids should participate in athletics, any form of athletics, give them something to do, help their mental health, and just make the world a better place.
All right, Coach. I do got one more good question for you. Now, this is really important. Now, am I right or am I wrong in assuming that everyone is bowing out of the tournament and scared to play in this tournament because the Mountaineers are back for the first time since 2000?
Well, that's one thing I'm going to tell you. For me, I was so busy, Kevin, and I hate to say this on the air, but I did not know that the Mountaineers were playing for a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. I was so busy with my schedule and the things that we're doing, be it from the fact that I'm being a parent and being a teacher and being a coach. So I'm excited to see Coach Kearns. I've got to hear him speak a couple times, and to see what he's done with the App State basketball program in just a couple of years is unbelievable. And just proud to be a Mountaineer, and I just see where they fall in the bracket and wish those guys luck. And I definitely, unless we're playing football next Friday night, and they play on Friday night, the last time they played in the NCAA tournament, they played Ohio State, Tom. I was on a school trip to Washington, D.C., and I was at a Washington Capitals ice hockey game the last time the Mountaineers played in the NCAA tournament 21 years ago. So things like that you don't forget, and I'm just glad that I'll get to see them hopefully play, or at least get the DVR the game.
Right. They made it the year before I got there, and they had some good teams, but they're in one of those conferences, Coach, where only one team gets in, and they had some good runs when I was there, and it was Kevin Martin was there at Western Carolina when I was there, and, of course, he made the NBA. He was pretty good.
He's a great player.
And so, he lit us up. But, we did have some good teams. It's just, didn't get with only one team getting in. So, Tom and them, looking at it, the bracketology says right now it's got us as a play-in game against Prairie View, and the winner gets a 1 seed, which could be Michigan.
Yeah. Well, I'd love for us to get in the play-in game. That way I know I get to see that game, hopefully.
That'd be a Tuesday, I guess.
I think we'd have a very good chance of winning a game like that. But, I think Sunbelt basketball is pretty good. And there were some great teams back in the old SoCon days. Me and Coach Harrell and my brother and Brent Beam, a bunch of boys, we used to go up to watch that tournament in Asheville. And, man, that was just a highlight of spring break. And you miss those days. But, hey, you dated yourself saying that was the year before you ever went to college.
Oh,
so,
I know.
Man, I'm telling you, we all, those alumni are definitely proud, and hopefully the Mountaineers will do a great job in the tournament.
All right, Coach. You got any other news notes for this week?
No, we're ready to go. Get ready for Monday.
Well, good luck. You guys got coming up Community School of Davidson, Thomas Jefferson, Christ the King, and Bessemer City, right?
That's right. 4 to go.
All right, good luck.
All right, appreciate it.
Have a good weekend.
You
Coach
too.
Tim Pruitt, Cherville Ironman football. They won last night, 33-12. Tim Johnson and Danny Aker had the call. Caleb did a fantastic job on the highlights again. So I want to thank him. Terry, kids today, he worked 2 games, and he's already asked for a raise.
There you go. And last time.
I told Tim said, Caleb's already asked for a raise. I said, tell Caleb, shut up and go on.
There you go.
I see him Friday night. But, he did a good job. I was showing you guys some highlights. They're in a weird spot. They were in a weird spot anyway. There's no press box kind of for them to be in over at High and Tech. It's like on the 30-yard line. It's the softball, I think. But they had a good spot for some highlights. The shots there on their side of the field were fantastic. But folks, we are doing live highlights on during the game 7 and 9. Tom was here last night with Dennis and Andre. We had a good time doing the Red Zone channel, and what's fun about that is getting to see some of these highlights from all these games. Is the guys that get out there and do it. We had 9 games covered last night. We had highlights from Huss and Kings Mountain. We had highlights from Crest and Ashbrook, West Lincoln, Newton Conover, Bandy's and Lincolnton, and we had highlights, of course, also from all of our radio games as well: North Lincoln, East Lincoln, Chase, Shelby, East Rutherford, Burns, and Cherville, Highland Tech. All right, I guess we'll get started real quick and talk about some of these games. Burns wins big, of course, 54-7, and we'll go somewhere over the big ones. South Point wins big against Kramer. RS Central over East Gaston. St. Stephen's, Bessemer City, in the pregame, we all actually picked Bessemer. I picked them because I was just saying, we're going up there to win. Hurrah.
Right. Hurrah.
I didn't think the other two was going to follow me, and they did. But, that's what they did. But either way, excuse me, St. Stephen's with 30. Terry, are they 3A?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
St. Stephen's.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's why I was wondering why you were even there.
We ain't scared.
And I didn't mean that in a bad way. Just I thought we were only doing conference games this year, so I was confused.
Yeah, in a conference of like 10 teams, you'd think they could figure something out, but it didn't work out that way. They got Highland Tech next week, Christ the King, Thomas Jefferson, and finish up at Cherville. Let's see. I want to talk about a couple of these other games. Bandy's wins big, 52-8, Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
We had some great highlights. Payton was out at that game, and he called me before the game. He's like, I heard Bandy's might not be too good this year. I'm interested in what's about to happen. And Bandy's put it on him last night. Terry, you got any notes or anything or comments on that game besides Lincoln black helmets? Did you see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is that the talk of the town, or does anybody care that much? I was just wondering. It just looks weird on the pictures and stuff in my videos, seeing the black helmets and thinking Lincoln at first. It just didn't pop in my head.
I guess it all depends on how much you're a fan. I mean, some of the new people probably like it. Some of the older people said, that's not Lincoln. I mean, it all depends. I mean, it happens everywhere you go. I know when West Lincoln, we went to all black one year. There's a lot of people who did not like that. And the very next year, next couple years, we got rid of all those jerseys and end up giving them to Patton. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it all depends on where you at and whether you like it or not. I mean, it would be like you went over here to Burns and all of a sudden they're in yellow. People would be like, "That's not Burns." I mean, it's
Like
they changed the helmet from blue to gold or something.
Keys Mountain changes their helmets every year, which is and their logos. So it's a different logo and helmet kind of every year for the most part. We're gonna go over some highlights, folks. Watch it online. This is Bandy's bouncing. Outside, so that's Lincoln in there in the black helmets. It's just weird on the eyes, isn't it? Just checking it out. I'm sure the helmets look fantastic up close. I'm not seeing anything wrong with them.
Well, I'll tell you what else is weird for me is it looks like Bandy's right there is in a gold uniform, and that there hasn't been a gold uniform like that in years. Especially when I was there, it was still you had your green uniform and you had your white uniform with your helmet being gold, and I'm not going to sit here and say I like it. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't like it. I'm indifferent about it, but as Terry said, some people were looking at that. If I didn't recognize the surroundings and you wouldn't have told me that was Bandy's versus Lincoln, I don't know who it is. I don't know. I wouldn't have known who that was.
Well, that's just like looking at that and you see the black helmets. People say, well, who is that? I mean, that's what they're going to ask. And
it looks
say,
from here. It could have come across to me as dark blue. I could have thought they were playing Maiden in the white. I don't know, but I guess it's good for Bandy's that they did win this big because talking to some people that I have graduated with, some fellow alumni, and just people in the area, obviously I live in that know Bandy's. Their eyes were a little sideways, wondering how you could go 0-2. You're starting off 0-2. Like it's different to start off 0-2. But what makes this worse is it was against both rival teams. Yeah. You lost to Maiden and you lost to Newton Conover. And those are teams every year that you hope to beat. Beating them is a different story. I know Maiden has always had Bandy's numbers. There might be a year or two that you're able to get them, and they usually do the breast cancer game during that. But I just knew a lot of people because I had a buddy of mine, too, call me last night. He said, do you know how I can get in and go and watch this game? I said, well, if it's like most other places, these tickets had to be pre-ordered because there's a certain amount of people that can get in. I said, I don't have a connection over there anymore, so I can't get you in. But we were talking, and he was like, we lost to Newton and Maiden already. I said, yeah. And it's just one of those things where, little county rivalries. That's just what it is. Your school rivalries, and you don't want to hear that you've lost them, but to go back-to-back, and that's how you started, that wasn't a good look. So this was a good bounce back, but I'm looking at it, and if this is the same Lincoln team that I've covered maybe the past 2 years, then it's really not much to tip your cap to. No offense, but, I mean, Lincoln is not. It's not been the strongest Lincoln has been. Okay, it's just not. So,
but I mean,
I don't know whether to credit Bandy's a whole lot in that win, or maybe Lincoln's still just not there yet.
Yeah, but you're looking at it like I'm looking at it. If you start the year like this year, 0-2,
yeah,
you have no choice but to win out. I mean, there's no other way.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to, because you have another loss and you're not going anyway. But that's like West Lincoln. We started 0-2. We did lose to North Lincoln, so they still lag up on us there. But it's only going to take the top two. So, I mean, you cannot lose anymore. Plus, you got to hope North Lincoln gets beat twice. Because if it comes down to head-to-head, I mean, they got to have 3 losses on them before you can jump over them. So, I mean, you have your opportunity to play East Lincoln and knock them with a loss, but you're still going to have everybody lose again for you to even be tied. So.
How about a 74-yard touchdown run for Bandy's Jones with the run? Let's check out this highlight here on KTC. Again, Bandy's in the gold with white pants, Lincoln in the all-white with black helmets. All right, off to the right side
and
back
obviously,
up the middle.
Bandy's got a new head coach now. Coach Barnes is over there. He's the new head coach. I don't know what kind of offense they run anymore. I don't. When I was there and it was the final days of Randy Lohman, we knew what kind of ball they played. We always called it was Lohman ball. They're going to come out there.
What formation we looking at here then?
I can't. What is it? I can't tell if the quarterback's underneath
Not
or
a wing tee.
No, because what they used to run for years when Randy was there was ISO or the I. They would run out of the I, give it to either the fullback or the tailback, and they'd take it home.
1980s football.
When Trent took over, Trent wanted to play spread. He wanted to play spread style offense. Problem was, and I'll just say it, and a lot of people would agree with me, even the guys that were playing it, they just didn't have the athletes to play the spread. Obviously now he has the athletes to implement his offense. That's why he's winning state championships up at East Surrey. But so now I don't know what kind of offense they are running, because I was looking at that there, and I couldn't tell. It looked like the tailback was in front of him by a yard. It wasn't a pistol. I don't know what they're running over there, but good for them on the victory. 1-2.
All right, so Tom, last night, Chase almost pulls off the big upset over Shelby. We listened to it.
They led to a lot of that ball game. It was
led most of the game.
Yeah, led most of the game. Just telling Terry this morning, I think Jeff said in the fourth quarter, this is the first time Shelby's had the ball and the lead at the same time. Was not till the fourth quarter. Chase started out with an 88-yard drive for a touchdown. They had a couple big plays, a big pass, a big kickoff return. Shelby had a punt, a couple big plays. It's a game of big plays. But late in the game, you could tell that Chase was wore out and could no longer stop Shelby's rushing attack. And that's when the game was over.
I want to get Hunter's opinion on this. Does his knee touch, Hunter?
Oh, Kevin, I ain't got a clue. I can tell you from here I'm not going to have an answer.
Does his knee touch on the punt return, the big punt return that maybe have changed the game?
So Shelby's in the black.
Right.
Okay.
What'd the ref call?
Well, that's going to be so, obviously, so
I know
little.
we're so far away to see.
But is that what the
look at that?
Is that what the conversation is this morning?
Regardless, I will say that's an extremely stupid rule for high school.
High school and college, you don't like the knee down? I don't either. I think you should have to touch it.
I agree with that. I don't understand.
They might not be able to remember, Terry, but we can remember when you couldn't return a fumble in college football. Yeah. You could not scoop and score. And that wasn't changed till the 80s. Yeah. I mean, it was a long time till they changed.
I feel like that was the same way though for years on the blocked PAT attempt or the blocked field goal. Like that you couldn't take it back. I think it was the PAT. They wouldn't let you take it back on the block. It just is dead right there.
No strip sack and score back in 80s and 70s college football. How crazy is that?
I don't know. So is that what the conversation is this morning over in Chase? Was whether or not the Shelby boys' knee is down
because their defense got wore out. I think I saw the same thing against Burns, and I think they may be a little thin defensively. And they just get into that fourth quarter, and you've got the big Phillips kid still coming at you. I mean, it just wore them out. And we did the same thing. And I've never seen a 97-yard drive before that yielded nothing. And it has a 90, but it took like 8 or 9 minutes off the clock and it just warm out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they may be a little thin, and that's going to hurt you.
I just don't understand why they have that rule, college and high school level. Your knee touches.
Do y'all ever remember hearing a reason for that, Terry, back in the day, other than we're just different than the NFL? You know, the one leg, two
I think
leg,
every from NFL
thing.
to college to high school, everybody wants to do something so it discriminates that I'm a high school, you know, or then I'm a college, or I'm the NFL. And I think they put rules in to be different from everybody else. So if it happens, then you can say, "Well, that's just the NFL rule."
I've just never understood
I
why.
feel sorry for Chase on this loss because they have played Burns and they've played Shelby, and you're
tough schedule.
Yeah, and you're 0-2 in the conference, and the chance on you making playoffs is no good with the shortened season and what they're going to take. This might be one of the best Chase teams that we have seen in a long time.
They were good last year. They were
You know, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, but they're not going to be able to compete or even have a chance at making the playoffs.
Well, they had 2 teams made it in on at-larges in basketball, Terry.
I think if Chase wins out, they have a chance.
But
because of the toughness,
someone in this conference is going to be left out. South Point's in this conference. Chase is in this conference. RS Central is in this conference. It's 5 deep right there. It's pretty good teams to where a lot of those are going to be out of the playoffs, and they could win these. They could be competitive or win these other conferences. Now, the thing about it is, if Shelby would have lost last night, guys, they could have actually got put out of the playoffs if we ended up in a 3 or 4 way tie in this.
The only layup in this conference is East Gaston. Every other week you got in East Rutherford.
Yeah.
East Gaston, East Rutherford are struggling. Everybody else is pretty doggone
right,
good.
I'm going to roll through the highlights kind of quick. The big ones, I'm not going to do the 1 yard runs that I can. We're just going to as we read over some scores and go through some of these. I did want to mention, I'm trying to find Coach Cogdell's tweet last night after the game. Everybody that he told, I'm heartbroken. I don't know what else to say, but I couldn't be more proud of our kids. They went toe-to-toe with 2 of the best 2A programs in Western North Carolina. In fact, the NC Preps had them 1-3 in the state. They went toe-to-toe with them, and if they are ranked 2 and 3, whatever rankings he's talking about, my kids deserve to be ranked in the top 10. So that's his comments on a tweet for after the game on that. Burns and Shelby gets 2 and 3 in that. Burns, I mean, should they be ranked ahead of Shelby this week, Tom? After, you know?
Tough call.
Going into this. Wouldn't that cause more controversy and want to see the game? Hey, guys, they flip-flop. Burns is ahead of Shelby this week.
Just give us something to talk about.
You can
light that fire.
That's not a tough call.
I think that as long as Shelby wins, they will be number 1.
But you guys didn't give up 41 points to Chase.
Okay.
We gave
Didn't
0.
you shut them out, right?
We gave 0.
So, and that's if you usually go year to year and not think in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm telling you, as long as Shelby wins, they'll be number 1. But I'm telling you, Shelby is vulnerable defensively.
Now, Terry,
they're vulnerable on defense. Now, they've got the playmakers on offense. I think defensively they are suspect.
Terry, I got a question for you real quick. If East Lincoln beat North Lincoln by 10 and only beat Mount Iron Charter by 1, and Thomas Jefferson beat Mount Iron Charter, how good's Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah, I'm never going to say nothing about Thomas Jefferson because every time
how good are they?
That's what I'm saying because I know a couple of years back they went down to North Lincoln and won down there.
Yeah.
So Thomas Jefferson with cash and all
according to that,
there,
they'd beat them this year.
Well, should, but you know, I mean, I'm not going to say they will, but you know, different Fridays, different things, different guys. We got kids 16 through 18 that are playing, and sometimes some of them never show up.
Yeah.
On certain days, but
all right,
you know.
All right, Terry and Hunter, let's let you guys see some highlights from last night. This is maybe the biggest highlight of the night. Early, this is when Chase, went up early. A little bubble screen. The kid stiff arms the linebacker, gets past the safety, and he's up the middle against the Shelby defense on this little bubble screen here. Steve DeGree's out doing the game, doing the tweeting for us. Brent Pasco and Jeff Jones, of course, doing the broadcast. So look, they're going to throw it to the left side for you folks watching a little bubble screen here. Linebacker gets stiff-armed, missed the tackle. 2 guys bump into each other, stiff arm again by and Chase is out for the early lead, and that set off the flurry of tweets and everybody in text of the night wondering what's going on in the Chase Shelby game. Cameron Sweezy got a 1-yard run to give Burns a 7-0 lead. This is Tyler Mizell to Paulie Menegay. Now, East Lincoln did us no favors this year in names, in name pronunciation. So I could be even getting this wrong. But this is a little 10-yard pass. Now, before he throws this pass and I hit the rest of this play, I want to note that our announcer, Logan Baker, is an 18-year-old senior at Lincoln, and he's running camera and doing color. So when he throws the pass, I think he was talking. So because the camera goes, the other way. So that was our highlight of that touchdown play. But this guy right here is excited down here in the corner. I know that. We got another good one here in a little bit. Bandy's for struck for a second time. Quarterback keeper was good for 6 2-point conversion. Bandy's led 12-0. DJ Fuller gets some scoring going over at the Crest game. 14-0. Crest leads. Now Rob ended up on the hill at Crest. Tom, where'd y'all see it when y'all were over there? Y'all were on the visitor side, right? He had a much better view in that game.
Yeah, we were on the visitor side.
In this game, he was up on the hill and didn't have that great of a view. So, folks, we're at different spots in every game depending on whatever. I'm not going to do the St. Stephen scores. This is Newton. They're not in our area. Newton scores first with a short run to the right, 6-0 over West Lincoln. Terry, West Lincoln had some nerves last night for a while. You guys in Lincoln did the same thing. Newton Connor jumped out to leads and then come back and won. What's going on there?
Well, we're just glad we got a W beside our name, Because, Newton Connor, you got to understand in this division, I think no team is above another one. I think on any given night over there in South Fork that East Lincoln could get beat next week when they're playing. They went to beat North Lincoln last night, a big game for both of them, and East Lincoln comes out on top.
All right, this is Cameron Sweezy, Tommy, from about 24 yards out on the run.
They're doing more of this year. Based on what I've seen. Like, I haven't been able to watch them as much as I traditionally have been, but they're doing more of this. You're trying to add another wrinkle here because when you had number 8 last year, he's going to get the football.
Right.
And he's getting the football, but it doesn't matter. Now, this year, I think Allen is their featured back, but they've got this little read option play, and I like it. And the blocking scheme, if you watch that blocking scheme, Kevin, it was executed to perfection.
Yeah, guys got blocked.
Yes, look at the the blocking scheme where it clears out,
clear,
and
push.
that's just great. That's great technique and great coaching on the offensive line, which often gets overlooked.
Right. Now, speaking of technique, I don't think this was. I think there was miscommunication in the backfield because I don't think there's no way they had the quarterback do what he did. Terry, have you ever seen a quarterback in shotgun do a complete spin around circle on the option like this? We used to do it when you're running the triple option to get
That's where the play was.
Right,
the play was designed to go that way, but, Kevin.
That's what I'm saying. Watch this. Just watch him. He just looks weird. I just don't remember ever doing a complete spin like that. Like watch him in the shotgun. Just. He faked right. It's like he wasn't there, and the running back went left, so he ended up doing the play action that way. You see what I mean? I think the running back was supposed to go right on the play action.
The fake was right, but the blocking scheme was obviously for a run to the left.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I think what happened was the running back went wrong side and ended up blocking that guy right there. It sprung the touchdown. Just from running options and stuff. That just feels weird to me. All right, I'm not saying it might be right, but it feels weird. This is East Lincoln, Jack Carter 3-yard run. I'm not going to show you that one. 47-yard touchdown pass. We got a little bit of this one. Kid was wide open on this one down the left side. See ya. Runs right by him, jumps and in for the touchdown.
Quarterback probably read single coverage on that, and there was no safety coming over to help.
We had a ton of 1-yard touchdowns and a ton of just two-step throw it deep.
But if you look at that one, there was nobody else back there. There was one-on-one, and son, you better be an athlete if they put you on an island like that against a good receiver.
This is Chase scoring from the 4-yard line to take a 20-7 lead over the Shelby Golden Lions, as the city of Shelby was in shock last night for most of the night. Omar Phillips had a 1-yard run. Lamont Wilson of Burns 1-yard run. Bandy's Tarek Bumgarner, let's see, takes it in for 6. It doesn't say how far. I don't want to click on it. It'd be just a 1 yard run. We had a lot of 1 yard runs last night. I got some good replays of the West Lincoln scores. We'll get to them in a minute. Here's Dos Santos for East Lincoln. Talk about busted coverage. Watch the tight end just run right down the middle of the field, and he might be the biggest guy on the field, and they missed him. Doop, 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 doop. Touchdown. Look like Gronk just running down the middle wide open on that one.
Easy.
East Lincoln with the easy 6 here. Miscommunication. Safety just came straight in. Didn't look at his read, his tight end there on that. How about an 89-yard touchdown for Bandy's? Parker Dayhart had a big night last night. Just a little left side run. Lincoln didn't close it off, and he's off for the races. And you'd think somebody on the Bandy's, no, that's the Lincoln side. I was about to say, you'd think somebody on the Bandy side would at least stand up. Never mind, that was the Lincoln side.
Who was the guy that Lincoln 10 beforehand a few years back? What was the guy? What was the coach's name? That was a few years back when they were still good, Terry. Lincoln's coach.
Cloniger?
Cloniger, was that him? Is he the county AD now, or is he just retired?
No, the county AD right now is Brian Clary.
Okay.
Late 10. This is a West Lincoln touchdown pass near the end of the half. Now, Terry, they scored twice in the air last night. What's up with the Rebels throwing it around?
Well, you know, you got to daggone put a few different arsenals in your weaponry because people always know we're going to pass. Run, but, you know.
You got to put a few weapons in your arsenal, Terry. Come on.
That's it.
Now, I want to show. Speaking of busted coverages, Hunter, let's look at this one. The kid scoring, if you'll look, is right above the 40. To his inside is the guy guarding him. From the snap, he ain't guarding him. Easy 6 for West Lincoln. I don't know if that was called or a read, Terry. Whatever it was perfect and worked easy. And you can see the Rebel coaches here on the sideline getting excited. One of these guys got a big vertical leap. Who's this cat right here in the gray shirt? Look at him. He got excited. I don't know who that was.
Well, Mason Hewitt. I mean, he's got opportunity to play in college.
Okay.
I mean, you know, he's leading us right now, and great quarterback's been there. He was there last year. He's the one that scored the long touchdown against Shelby last year in the playoffs. So, you know, he can run the show.
All right, this is East Lincoln scoring again. Mizell to the corner of the end zone touchdown. I'm going to get through these quick as I can, folks. Hunter, be ready to read the scores here in just a second. A couple more I wanted to show. I want to show that other West Lincoln touchdown that was thrown in the corner. 45-yard touchdown pass here for North Lincoln against East. Let me get the name right. This is Kovacek to Seth Whitley. Deep down the sideline, got him for the touchdown. And the big win for East Lincoln. Now, Terry, East Lincoln Maiden, what we got? Is that both of them's undefeated? Is this I guess it is the conference championship, basically, for the most part, especially if East Lincoln wins.
Yeah, and like I said before, in this conference, I mean, it's a big game for those two. Whoever comes out on top will take a leg up, but then, hey, the next week you got to daggum rebound also because, you can get beat.
All right, I'm going to find your one more score. Menegay had this run last night. He just ran through some people. We showed that one last night. All right, Hunter, any other final thoughts or anything on some of these bandies winning big? This week they've got East Lincoln. You think they can knock off the Mustangs?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say they can't if they play like this, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense must have been doing something right if you can put 52 on the board. All right? Either that or Lincoln's defense was just in shambles.
It's so hard to keep up with so many teams, though.
Yeah.
It's just like what matchup
what's
problems
tough
are created.
Too is like, yeah, we can watch this and we see the highlights, but you got to watch a full game to really know who was imposing their will and which side was really the strongest. And if we're not out there, then
the sad thing is about 6 or 7 years ago, you could get up on Saturday morning and watch the West Lincoln replay, and watch the Burns replay, and watch the Crest replay. So it used to be nice, Hunter. We used to be able to do exactly what you're talking about.
I know. That's what I did on Saturdays, was rewatch all the games
Used to be nice.
And go, of course, out critiquing it and everything else.
Some people's got to make money off free labor, Terry, don't they?
Yeah.
But Hunter, all right, this is Menegay's 70-yard run. I want to start here real quick. They were talking about last night. He was just people bouncing off of him. Watch this last guy try to tackle him. No. He just left him. And here is this West Lincoln scamper for the quarterback on a run. Touchdown. Went to the left side, I think. As the Rebels win that. All right, guys. Hunter, you read over the scores. I'm going to pull up a couple more highlights while you go through the scores.
Kings Mountain 35-0 over Huss. Crest 42, Ashbrook 6. South Point 42, Kramer 24. RS Central 56, East Gaston 27. Shelby 47, Chase 41.
Why you finger at?
This is one of those 55-1. The only tie back in 1968.
Who?
Was Chase and Shelby.
Almost broke the curse.
Almost.
You know what? I feel so bad. I just want to say Chris Cognell's doing a great job over there. I know it's 1-2. And
I agree.
He's doing a great job.
Hashtag the knee was down.
Yeah.
It's going to be going on up in Rutherford County today.
Burns 54, East Rutherford 7. Cherryville comes out on top of Highland Tech 33-12. St. Stephen's 30, Bessemer City 0. Pine Lake Prep 64, Christ the King 12. Thomas Jefferson 25, Mount Island Charter 21. Community School of Davidson 42, Union Academy 0. East Lincoln on top of North Lincoln 40-30. Bandy's 52, Lincolnton 8. West Lincoln 27, Newton Conover 19. Watauga 23-6 over Hickory. 53-12, Alexander Central on top of Freedom. South Caldwell, 50, McDonald's, McDowell, 0. High Brighton, 43-0 over North Rowan. East Burke, 37-6 over Patton. Bunker Hill, 44-6 over Drawn. And West Caldwell to round out the list, 47-15 over West Iredell.
All right, Terry, here's the one I wanted you to see. Maybe the catch and shot of the night here on KTC. West Lincoln touchdown corner of the end zone. Jason Sane out there was a perfect spot and time. And I don't know, it's almost like it was planned, Hunter. Watch this. Just straight wheel route down the corner. Right in our faces. Touchdown, Rebels. Terry, you know who made that catch? Jason didn't get the name on that.
Nah, I have no idea.
I know what he didn't have on. Gloves. Look at that. Barehanded reception.
You don't need gloves and veil. Football.
I did watch a goalkeeper
now,
play.
You know who did have gloves? What's this time?
Look at the guy turning around. Look at somebody like that was your man.
You know who did have gloves? The guy not guarding him. The guy not catching the ball. The guy getting beat for the touchdown.
Yeah, he's got on his gloves.
Nice, keeping them nice and warm. All right, folks. We'll be back in a few minutes. We've got all kinds of things to talk about today. Finish up today. Going to be a fun day. We've got Dak Prescott. Are the Cowboys good or bad now? Tom Brady's back for 4 more years, Tom.
He won't be there.
You and him are going to retire at the same time in Cleveland County Schools.
You know what? His pension's going to be a little better.
A little better. Cam Newton's back again in New England. We've got quarterbacks galore. Hunter, your team's running out of quarterbacks to sign and trade for. NASCAR to talk about.
That one.
All kinds of NASCAR to talk about. It's almost dirt time, boys. Dirt time. Terry, you excited about some dirt?
Not really.
Oh, goodness. This is going to be awesome. Yetis baseball. We're going to go over some of that. We've got another game that's coming up this week, this Wednesday. Space Jam news for Hunter and everybody else. Did you guys? Oh, we've got breaking news in the relationship fronts. Have you seen the breaking news last night?
I've seen it.
I told you guys for years, did I not? Jose Canseco predicted it. A-Rod and J-Lo are breaking up and will not be married. I know Tom was waiting on that move.
I care about as much about that as I do the royal family.
And Terry, did you hear about Michigan State's basketball's new name?
No, I did not.
Their new name, they've sold the naming rights to their basketball team. It will now be called MSU Spartans Basketball by Rocket Mortgage. That's how ESPN will have to put their name on the tickers and refer to them. I'm not making that up. We'll be back in a few minutes, JP, on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Lifetime warranty on new and used cars at Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City. And now until the end of the month, Friendship in Forest City will offer up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. Guaranteed best prices on new cars, all used cars priced way below book value, and now all new and used cars have a lifetime warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited miles. We're simply not like any other dealer. Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram, we're located in Forest City.
The Nascar Xfinity Series.
Man, it is on at the front of the field.
Is at the Diamond in the Desert, Phoenix Raceway.
He'll try to jam it in 3 wide. He'll check up. He slips in 3.
The future stars of the sport will be battling for recognition.
Checkered flag in the air. Last-ditch effort at the line. Side by side. And Myatt Snyder wins.
The Call 811 Before You Dig 200. Presented by Arizona 811.
Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL. 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Earn cash back on dinner while you listen to high school sports on the radio. With a Carolina Federal Credit Union Visa credit card, you can enjoy 1% cash back on every purchase. Carolina Federal Credit Union Visa credit card has no annual fee and rates starting as low as 10.9% APR. Apply for a credit card online at carolinafcu.org or stop by the Carolina Federal Credit Union drive-thru for an application. Join Carolina Federal Credit Union, where we treat you like family because you are. APR is the annual percentage rate. Rates are subject to change, and an actual rate will be determined based on credit score.
Take advantage of a special offer on the versatile Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Switching attachments is simple, and a smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation. The Kubota BX Series, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years. You own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month.
Your Kubota dealer is Park of Arms Service, 126 Bessie Drive, off Highway 74 at Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Attention, buy here, pay your customers. The new Iconic Motor Company in Shelby has regular financing plans that will help you reestablish your credit with the Credit Bureau. Come in for all the details at the new Iconic Motor Company in Shelby, where you'll find quality late model vehicles. Yes, you can get approved at the new Iconic Motor Company of Shelby, 325 West Dixon Boulevard, Highway 74 West in Shelby. Online at iconicmotorcompanyofshelby.com. Open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday. Get approved today at Iconic Motor Company in Shelby.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price. With names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General, and Travelers. Drop by the office today at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Guys, we're back on the air.
We are. I know we are.
Okay.
We're back on the air, and Tom and Dennis will. They're the type of people that complain about it.
I just want to say our the people that advertise with us. I always try to patron their businesses. And here recently, I've had Hopper and Heating and Air came right out, got my air conditioner serviced. Carolina Auto Glass also sponsors, and they did a great job on my BMW windshield. Even I told them the wrong windshield because I did not know I had automatic rain sensors because I never use it. But even though I told them the wrong windshield, they didn't charge me. They said, okay, we got to get you another windshield. It's no big deal. So they took good care of me. And just want to give a shout out to some of our sponsors, including Friendship, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Please patronize our sponsors.
5 years ago, I became a Cleveland Browns fan after they went 0-16 because the Dallas Cowboys decided to play a rookie on a team good enough to win the Super Bowl. And I said, they're not going to win a playoff game or win anything in the playoffs with a rookie. And they didn't. And 5 years later, we're sitting here, and now Jerry Jones has given this guy who has one playoff victory. His leg fell off last time we saw him, and he gave him more money than he
$160 million.
For the Dallas Cowboys.
It was only a 4-year deal, though.
He's given a guy with one playoff victory more money than he paid for the whole team. And this was the problem a few years ago, and we're looking at these at the salary cap, Terry. It's come down to $20 million this year. $75 million cash he's getting now. His cap hit this year is $22 million. Dak's already talking about winning Super Bowls. And see him win 2 games in the playoffs first. Then you can get there. But Terry, how do you feel now that we've talked about this for months and months and months about Dallas's position now going forward with a $40 million quarterback, and your defense where it's at, and basically where are the Cowboys at right now in your opinion?
Okay, first of all, you got a $66 million signing bonus. You're going to get $75 million of all that money the first year.
Mm-hmm.
So $160 is what it was guaranteed for 4 years. So that's $40 million a year. And I've always said that's way too much. Tom Brady's already set your example. $25 million, I can get you anybody you want. And then when I started really looking into what Dallas just did, because I've always said $40 million is way too much for any quarterback in the NFL. And then when I realized that Dallas will not lose anybody on their offense through 2023, I said, maybe it was a good deal. And what Tom said, he wanted 5, we gave him 4. So we're not going to be pushed, but maybe 1 year of Dallas maybe not being any good.
Where was the
on
problem?
Offense.
What was the problem with Dallas last year?
Defensive wise.
So how do you have money to go out and fix that?
Well, here you go. All of your line have renegotiated all their contracts. Dallas has freed up $18 million towards the cap. So we're going to be able to get somebody to come to Dallas. If it's not 2 players, maybe 3 players to fill in holes of what's going to be left. So Dallas, and when you sit back, and I kept saying that's way too much money, but then I say it's only for 4 years. But then when you start saying Cooper, Zeke's all the way through 2026, Jarwin's still in there, you still got CeeDee Lamb, and all of these guys are at least until 2023. So that's 3 of the 4 years that you just gave Dak. So Dallas is going to be okay, but you're going to have to win a Super Bowl out of these 3 to 4 years. Now, when the 3 years is up, they are going to be a lot of money that's going to have to be given or let go at that time. But now that your offensive line has decided to renegotiate all their contracts, because all of them guys want to stay now. There's the difference. These guys saying, okay, now we're back intact. Let's all fix this. And we freed up $18 million off of cap space that Dallas is still going to be able to go get somebody in free agency or through the draft.
You can go get somebody in free agency. I was listening to an interview this week with Eric Mangini, and he said what people don't realize is if you aren't watching what a lot of NFL teams are doing right now with the restructuring of players' deals, it's because their hands are forced with the salary cap being down almost $10 to $15 million this year.
Dallas is 18th in cap space.
So they have to do that, but not only that, some teams are letting players go, good players go, because they just can't afford them. So if you are Dallas, it won't be hard for you to sell the star to them to come and say, come play in Dallas. The only problem you're going to find is how many of them can you sign? And are they willing?
It's probably a 1-year deal.
And are they willing to work with what today's salary cap is going to allow them to make? They might look at themselves like Carlos Dunlap was released by the Seattle Seahawks. They probably would have loved to be able to keep him because he's an edge rusher, and that's something that they really need. But he was going to be too expensive. So now that he's on the open market, is he going to be able to look at himself and say, okay, if I want a job, I have to actually take less this year because everybody is going to have to start taking less this year. So you can get somebody in Dallas, yes. I'm just glad that we don't have to talk about whether or not Dak Prescott's going to sign for another year or so.
The only problem I have with it is how much money. What if he goes out in game 1 or 2 and gets hurt again? I mean, you've just gave up $130-some million.
I was
and
listening.
this year,
yeah,
and you don't have a quarterback.
right. I was listening.
That's the reason Dalton means a lot for Dallas to keep him because they need him. They got to have
signed as of yet, is he?
No. You've got to have a backup. And towards the end of last year is when Dalton really coming on and Dallas played his way. And they've got to keep him because if you don't, then you've got who's going to be at your backup quarterback.
He's a Texas guy. I think that helps you.
On the
If
way.
I'm Andy Dalton, I go to Houston.
Well,
because they're going to get rid of him, Deshaun, at some point or something.
Who wants to go to Houston?
If I'm,
Yeah,
but if I want to be a
nobody wants to go
backup,
there.
but
if he
Nobody
wants to
go
stay
Houston.
in Texas, I mean, you've only got 2 teams in Texas.
Yeah,
But
you're
Andy-
going to stay.
Andy-
You'd rather be in Dallas than in Houston.
Andy Dalton won 4 games last year. Dak Prescott won 1, and the only one he won was the Falcons not jumping on an onside kick. Like, so if you look at the Dallas Cowboys and say, well, the only game the quarterback won was the other team was an idiot. His leg fell off. Let's give him $40 million. That makes us better how? And Super Bowl contenders how?
But
You're
we
29th
also,
in defense.
No.
Giving up 29
Okay, yeah, no.
That's
29
That's where it's all wrong.
They're almost minus 12 points a game without him.
But see, here's where
Games with him, games without him are minus 12 points.
Yeah, here's where everybody
That's
don't
just a fact.
understand. When Dallas made the playoffs the year before, they were a top 5 defense. Okay, and then you bring in a new defensive coordinator that was terrible in Atlanta, always at the bottom, and he did what he's always done. He made the defense not worth a crap and tried to do it his way, and it did not
Terry,
work. But now all
you're
of a
confused.
sudden,
This is Dan Quinn's first year going with y'all.
yeah, I know it is.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Right.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Yeah.
But not this past year.
No, well, yeah, the one you had this past year, what
Was
was it?
terrible.
Used to work with North Turner and
No, he
with the
was
Chargers.
with Atlanta. He was with Atlanta before. The guy that we had. Yeah. Now that you went back.
He was McCarthy's
Yeah.
buddy.
Cowboys beat the Falcons by 1, Giants by 3, Bengals with no quarterback by 23.
I'm interested to see if Joe Burrow's able to come back.
They beat the Vikings by 3, 49ers by 8, and Eagles by 20. And now we're talking Super Bowl because we gave the quarterback $40 million.
No, we're not talking Super Bowl.
Well, they are.
Yeah, I'm not talking Super Bowl. I just
who
think
are they signing? What's going to make them better?
I mean, this money
Do you
they
feel
gave him was
better
just
or
way
worse
too
that
much.
the Cowboys just signed Dak Prescott at 40?
Oh, well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
As a
no,
Redskin,
listen,
whatever you call yourself.
I'm a realist. Right now, Dallas is the best team in that division. You know why? Because they got the quarterback situation figured out. Philadelphia don't know what they're going to do. The front office is telling them that they have to try and make Jalen Hurts work. Well, it's about, well, my God, you could have done that with Carson Wentz, but you didn't. And not only that, I don't know what Daniel Jones is yet with the Giants. And Washington is, I just listened to an interview. That's what I was going to get to, coming down the road with Ron Rivera that Colin Cowherd did on his other podcast. And they're still evaluating quarterbacks. But one thing that Ron Rivera did say, because Colin brought up what we're talking about, he said, it seems like every year the price on a quarterback just keeps going up and up and up. And he said, and basically that's what he asked. He said, is it a little bit ridiculous and inflated? And I loved what Ron said, because Ron said, well, what's worked recently? You got to have strong defenses.
Yeah, but what else is going to work? Like Patrick Mahomes restructuring his contract to do
yes.
18. That they're going to Tom Brady.
They just cut both
his.
their tackles. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
And
have
see,
no
that's
tackles
where-
now.
But they're going.
And then they got smoked in the Super Bowl because they had no tackles.
I think that moving forward, like Hunter is saying, that some of these quarterbacks are going to say, well, if I don't restructure my deal, I'm going to get killed.
Well, that's what Ron Rivera was
to
basically saying, and that's what makes me think now, and I'm fine with it, that Ron Rivera will never, because he's got a lot of power in Washington. That's what one of the reasons was he took that position, is he has a lot of say-so. I don't think they'll ever go out and just throw a butt ton of money at a quarterback. Like, we might be in position to where we need a quarterback right now, but he's not going to just throw money at somebody he's not.
What do you think
sold
our
on.
strategy is right now?
Right now, I think we're evaluating free agents, see what the Jets are wanting to do with Darnold. A lot of people have still said that they're looking at Mariota out of Las Vegas because he had a pretty good stretch whenever he was coming in as the backup. But other than that, in my gut, I don't think we're moving up. I think we're sitting at 19, and we might roll with either Kyle Allen if he's healthy off his ankle, because he sounds like he's fine keeping with guys in-house that he's got. I mean, we got a top 5 defense regardless, all right? We won 7 games last year cycling through 4 quarterbacks. So if we ever got that situated, I could firmly say I think we're the best team in the division. But if you got the quarterback situation figured out, you right now, to me, in football, if you've got the quarterback situation figured out, I think you're ahead above the team next to you that doesn't.
And I think Dallas, on their end, is really just fix themselves up and set themselves in perfect situation. With the draft coming up, what's Dallas going to do? Defensively. We're going to go after the best defensive guy there.
Now that you have signed Dak, you can draft at 10. It doesn't have to be
we was thinking about a quarterback picking then, and we don't have to worry about that now because that's already fixed. So we're going to go defense. Dan Quinn's going to make our defense better than what it was. If we can just move to the middle of the pack, if you go from dead 29th or 30th up to 15th, you've made a tremendous, because Dallas at the start of the season last year was scoring as much as anybody. We were setting records on scoring. So now you're going to have to look at it. Can your defense stop our offense? And our defense is going to be decent. So Dallas will be like 2 or 3 steps ahead.
If you're Dallas there at 10, what position do you think you need to fill the most?
You got to get a good cornerback. You have to, or a safety. A good safety.
So you're looking at every big board I've seen said the only defenders that are going to come off high in the top 10 are either Caleb Farley or Surtain.
Gilmore's out there. He's being shopped around. So, I mean, a team that needs a DB.
Listen, hey, Patrick Peterson's a free agent.
So Hunter's right on the.
But how much do you want to give him?
He'll have to decide how much he can take if he wants a job.
If Dallas is smart as far as and Skip Bayless made this point the other day too. Now, Terry, that you've paid your quarterback this, you've got to hit on your draft picks for the next 3 or 4 years, or you're going to be
especially your third rounders, your fourth rounders.
Dallas went through this. You went through a 10-year period of nothing happening because you missed on our draft pick. They missed horribly on draft picks for years, and they hit a lot of years, and then now you better hit now. So we're looking, like Hunter was bringing up, looking at the mocks, Terry. There's no edge rushers at all in the top 20, 25 of this draft. It's defensive tackles, a couple of them, and then a couple corners. The top 20 in the draft's almost all offensive players looking at it. So
it is.
The good news is who Dallas drafts, if they pick someone at 10, is that they're going to be one of the best defenders in the draft no matter who they pick if they go defense right there. I don't see who – unless you're picking – this is the only thing I'd see you go is Trask if he drops down there. Ain't that the tight end from Florida?
No, Pitts. Trask was the quarterback. Yeah.
Pitts. If Pitts drops there, you better pick him. If not, better go defense. And Hunter, I'm looking at quarterbacks trying to think. Andy Dalton's available. Mitch Trubisky, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Listen, the only one that's available
the
only one that's available that I would want to take a shot on. Y'all think I'm crazy every time I say it. I would take Jameis Winston for a year.
Is he available? Yeah, he is. Okay. I'm looking at the list. Here's a list of available. Alex Smith, Jacoby Brissett, Trubisky, Fitzpatrick, Tyrod Taylor, Andy Dalton, Colt McCoy, Joe Flacco, Mike Glennon, Jameis Winston, Blaine Gabbert, Blake Bortles.
And I think that
y'all going to end up
Ron is really...
Andy Dalton's the best out of all those.
What are you talking about? Jameis, even though he throws 30 picks back when he didn't have his eyes fixed, he was productive.
30 picks.
Yes, to 30 touchdowns.
I know.
I can throw 30 picks.
This is
right, but can you throw 30 touchdowns?
This is a little off, but I was looking at the cap issues that we've been talking about. This says the Rams are almost $34 million over the cap.
32.1.
I have a 33.9.
And New Orleans is trying to bail everybody they can too because they're over.
New Orleans is 17.
They're over.
What website are you looking at, Tom? This is Sport Track.
Mine
and they keep it up pretty
salary
up to date.
cap space. It's just over the cap. That's what I'm looking at. Over the cap.
All right, so we're at two different websites. We got two different numbers on stuff.
For the Browns, I've got 24 million with 24 million in space. Many teams do have space.
I got Browns at 24.
Well, they're trying to make space now if they don't.
Right. The league average is 19 million over. Most teams are in the 20 range there, Tom. A lot.
But how are the Giants as bad as they are? Only 2.4 under. I mean, the Lions are only 3.3, and they're terrible.
Well,
I mean, the Jaguars have $73 million in cap space. How does that happen? How are you $73 million in cap space?
Well, speaking of how's it happen, how did the Patriots lose Brady? He wins the Super Bowl. If I told you 2 years ago,
They have $63 million in cap space.
right? If I told you 2 years ago that in 2 years Tom Brady's going to sign a 4-year deal after winning a Super Bowl in Tampa, and Cam Newton's going to get re-signed after that happens for another 1 year after going 7-9, y'all told me I was insane. But they get a bunch of players back. They got a bunch of cap space.
When can you start free agency signing? Hasn't that already started? Or
No, there's officially you can talk now.
Right, you can agree. You just can't put it on a piece of paper.
Because that's honest to God what I think all of us are waiting for.
Isn't
Because then once you start seeing who people are signing in free agency, you can then look at the draft and say, all right, well, then this is where they need to go. This is where they need to go because they addressed this in free agency. And that's really what I'm trying to watch, because we could sit here and talk about all these teams that's got all this cap space, like the Patriots. Well, they actually got 8 guys coming back on the defensive side of the ball that opted out last year, and they obviously have re-signed Cam to a 1-year contract. Now you look at it and say, the thing we've been talking about for years that they don't have is offensive weapons, but is Bill going to be the guy that we know always wants to save money? Is he going to reverse himself and say, well, we're going to go spend money on big offensive players? Yeah. I just don't know.
March 17th, 4 p.m.
Yeah, March 17th, yeah. So next week.
Yeah.
All right.
But I don't know whether Cam is the
this.
best thing for them, and I know there's probably nobody else for them to get. But my deal with Cam, and when I watched him last year, he threw picks. I mean, there was nobody in front of the guy he was throwing to.
Mm-hmm.
He threw one right to the other team when that dude's standing right in between the player he's throwing to.
Mm-hmm.
I have never in my life seen a quarterback who cannot read through a player. And I'm talking about, and I'm serious, half of the picks he threw, the guy standing between him and the guy he's throwing to. There's no way that either this guy's going to get his head knocked off with Cam's ball coming, or he's just going to drop it. I mean, I don't understand why they went back and pulled him back for him to get another opportunity, which they said a few weeks ago, and I see on this station that, hey, they were thinking about getting him back, and they went ahead and did that. So I don't know whether that makes New England better or worse. I do know they have players coming back, and I know it's going to free up some stuff, but are you still better off with him being your quarterback?
I'm not going to say it makes him worse. If anything, he's the second year in a system. And I don't think, knock on wood or wherever wood is, I don't think he's going to get COVID during the season next year, hopefully. And he actually has an off season and whatnot. I don't necessarily think it makes him worse, but I'm not going to sit here and say that they're my favorite to win the division. I still think Buffalo is a way more prepared Super Bowl team than New England is.
7-9. Okay, so, well.
I mean, if
you go 7-9 with him and some of the picks he threw,
let's just say he wins 2 extra games than he did last year. 9-7.
$5 million is all they spending on that. $5 million for 7 wins.
Compared to 25 they was giving Brady. So
well, and let's see how many Dallas gets for 40.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that 100%, y'all.
I mean, you could have signed Cam Newton and got 7 wins.
Yeah. Dallas's defense.
I don't think he played well at all last year. This quarterback situation doesn't look like anybody's going to make a trade. The Jets and Dolphins are the only team sitting there with enough, it looks like, firepower to get anything done. The only who's still available left to trade. We're waiting on Drew Brees' side if he's coming back.
Dang, he's holding them by just the you know what,
and you're
just not deciding.
And you're waiting on Russell Wilson.
Yeah, because he had New Orleans on his.
I've heard a lot of stuff that
I think Brees wants a 2-year deal.
He wants a 2-year deal somewhere.
No, with New Orleans, I think Brees wants a 2-year deal, and that's why he hasn't come back with them yet. He's like, if I'm coming back, you sign me to a 2-year deal. Instead of we're not doing this next year. Brady just signed a 4-year deal, and he's gonna be walking out there with the AARP card to check in the ball game.
I don't know. When it comes to Russell Wilson, though, all the talking heads, they all got insiders with insiders, and they know someone close to the system, and they're saying that it could probably get done within a couple weeks. And
you're talking about Wilson too.
You're getting dealt somewhere.
Not to New Orleans. New Orleans.
No, New Orleans. That would put them in more cap hell than what
y'all
they
need to
are.
offer everything y'all can.
Well,
he's available.
You know, we sit here and we talk about how sometimes it sounds pretty blasphemous for you to give up the whole farm, but Is it going to be as blasphemous if you're a team that made the playoffs last year, a la Washington and Chicago? Chicago, I think, made it at 8-8. Washington made it at 7-9. You got pieces everywhere else. Why would you not say, I'll give you every pick I have in the 2021 draft?
I was about to ask you that. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you because
nothing in the, and maybe if you want something next year, we'll give you one or two picks
better
next
than trading your entire draft for Ricky Williams.
Well, how many starters realistically are you going to draft this year? 2, maybe 3.
Doug Gottlieb said when he dug into it, did the math, you have first round picks, 53% of them hit. Only 53%. It's not high. And so I'm sitting here, whether it is us and they obviously we weren't a team that he listed, but we could still obviously make offers. Problem is he's got a no trade clause, so he decides where he goes on anybody that trades for him.
Y'all got $39 in cap space.
And we can give him the money. The same thing with Chicago. Think about it. Chicago, they've got defense.
Mm-hmm.
They franchise tagged Allen Robinson, so they got him a receiver. They got a young running back in Ty Montgomery. If you do want to look at them and say, I'll give you first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh round of the 2021 pick, think about it. If 53% of first rounders
I don't know about all that.
Now, Chicago is not a good spot.
I know.
They're 23 over the cap. They're in a terrible spot.
The teams that Russell listed that he wanted to go to and sign off on this no trade clause. Why does he get to list
where he wants to go?
Because he's the no trade clause.
Yeah, he's the no trade.
Well, then
if he
he only named 4,
then you're stuck in your Seattle.
Right here, boss.
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. But if I'm
an organization, I ain't never trade a player where he wants.
Listen,
to go.
if I'm Washington,
you want to trade it, I'll trade you.
If I'm Washington, I'm making the
Vancouver.
call. I'm making the call because I believe even if we picked up his salary and got rid of every draft pick we had on this upcoming draft, we could still at least sign one receiver in free agency, and that would be what we need. So as much as there are some players I would like to have in this draft, Washington went 7-9 with 4 different quarterbacks last year.
All right. Right now, before we go, I'm putting you on the spot. March 13th, Super Bowl. Who you got right now?
Oh, God.
Bills and Washington.
Not Washington. As happy as I would be, and you could almost twist my arm into thinking it if we were to land Russell Wilson somehow or Deshaun Watson. I would consider it out of the NFC.
Russell Wilson to the Panthers. What about that?
Listen, David Tepper's gonna make a phone call about any quarterback. He'll make a phone call about any of them.
Russell Wilson to the Panthers. That would generate a little excitement in the QC.
Now listen, Carolina could make that trade because they could offer Teddy. They could also offer Teddy Bridgewater. You know what I'm saying? They could say you're going to at least get a quarterback back, and you're not stuck.
I would say that.
But you don't even necessarily have to. Well, you could do that, and then the Seahawks get the 8th pick, and if they want to draft one of these quarterbacks, they can. They'd be sitting at 8.
You would say Bridgewater and the number 1 pick for Wilson straight up like that?
No, they're going to take more than that. Seattle's not taking anything.
Take more than that.
Seattle's
next year's one.
Yeah, they're going to want 3 to 4 first round
picks.
Even
Russell Wilson
Jared Goff got
32
3 picks,
but Russell Wilson's 32, 33. Were you gonna? How much are you gonna give up?
Or Matthew Stafford got 3 picks.
That's ridiculous. That I'm just telling you, they overpaid for that.
It just comes down to how much do you think you're that one quarterback away? For me in Washington, we are that one quarterback away. So I'll be honest, I'll give you my whole 2021 draft.
See, it's all about perspective. You're 100% right because a team.
Because I'll be honest here, I'll be honest straight up. If Washington had Russell Wilson. I know, and I like Dak. I think Dak's good, but I would still say Russell Wilson's best quarterback in the division, and we have the best defense in the division. So I would say we would be the best team in the NFC.
The Rams just traded 3 first-round picks and an overall number 1 pick who made the Super Bowl for a guy who's never won a playoff game in 11 years. And then the Cowboys just gave $160 million to a guy with 1 playoff win, and a leg fell off.
So if you pay... if you pay $65,000 for a 2010 Honda, does that mean everybody has to pay that?
Right. Why is everybody doing that?
I'm like, 2010 Honda, that's a pretty good car, but I'm not going to give $65,000 for it. That's basically what the Rams did.
You put me on the spot. I think Tampa Bay makes it back in the NFC because Lord God, Brady's restructured and they're getting everybody on the planet. It seems to come play for them.
The other rumor is, Hunter, I know you've heard because you keep up with it, Odell Beckham to Tampa Bay.
Well, Tom wants Odell to come.
Listen, if they want him, and they were willing to give up first-round
Oh,
picks.
my God, please.
If you're willing to give up
it's
first-round
just,
picks,
look,
you're going out the door.
See, but Cleveland's not going to keep Higgins, which I think is a bad move. But you can. It's $15 million. You know, you can free that up. I mean,
AFC wise, I would have said Tampa or Kansas City, but
I think
gotta
Beckham would
see.
play better in Tampa Bay.
I
think
gotta
he
see what
would.
they do
I think
with the
that
tackles.
Tom Brady could keep him in line. I think that would work much better than it's working.
Why do they need him, though?
Listen,
Well,
Odell
they
Beckham.
fourth wide
Listen,
receiver.
I
You got
think
Godwin, Evans.
Odell Beckham works fine
Terry.
everywhere. I think he works fine
Why
everywhere.
would they
The
need four
problem
wide?
is
Would they ever run the ball?
he's hurt.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
It hadn't worked well.
Why would
And
they
I
want
can
him?
see that. I can see Tom
I don't
Dagan
have
doing,
anything against
redoing
him.
all
It
his
just
stuff
hadn't
where
worked.
that
I mean, the
works.
chemistry or whatever's not there. I mean, a lot of
Well,
people.
Terry, who you got in the Super Bowl right now? Panthers and who?
Wrong answer.
The
I
football
don't know.
team and who?
I guess until somebody proves Tom Brady, you always got to go back with Tom Brady. So I'd go with Tampa again. And I know Andre loves that. Us sitting in here saying that. But
he said last night we win at least 2 of the next 3.
You know, that's what I'm saying. And then in the AFC, I don't think you're going to see Kansas City back.
Not
I think
without them
everybody.
tackles.
I just think everybody figured out how you beat them now, and Mahomes is going to have to learn how to
Give me
short
Buffalo.
dump passes.
Buffalo's got a
I'm
good
going to go
chance.
with Buffalo. That's who I was
Give me
going to go
Buffalo.
with.
Buffalo's got a good
You know,
chance.
so Tampa Bay and Buffalo.
I got Saints and Browns, baby. Let's do this. Woo!
He picks the Saints every year.
And it just bites him every time.
Yeah, and he worries
Every
about
time.
me picking Dallas, and he picks the Browns every year now.
Well,
I didn't pick them every year. I'm picking them this year. Remember, it's a steady growth. The year before, I picked them to go 8-8.
I keep waiting
We're
for
going
the
to win one
Browns
playoff
to-
game.
I keep waiting for the Browns to do something, and they just not doing anything. It's like, what are you guys going to do? Like the Watt got away, and
I'm the same way
there's a
with
couple others.
Washington.
I'm
I
just
want us
like,
to do
what are you guys gonna
something.
do?
All
It's
we've
like,
done is
where's
tag
the
the
big-
tackle.
Where's the big splash? Show me you're really going after.
And you really
know.
think about it, y'all, as we sitting here, we talk about the Browns, who's never, ever seen the Super Bowl. We talk about Washington, who's haven't won a Super Bowl way before Dallas.
One
No,
year.
not way
That's what I'm
One
saying.
year, Terry.
One year,
Well,
Terry.
still a year
12
before
months.
Dallas. And Dallas, which is the closest
Which
to any of us sitting in here who has
that
won a
hadn't
Super
won it
Bowl.
in almost 30 years.
That's what I'm saying. Well, not 30 years, Tom.
Almost
It's-
30.
It's not 30.
When's the last time they won, Terry?
It's not 30 years.
When's
Tom.
the last time they won?
Tom, when's the last time
Answer
y'all even
the
saw
question.
one? Oh, wait a minute. You've never seen one.
Answer
Okay,
the
never mind.
question.
How many we had? How
I've
many
already
Super
made
Bowls
the
we've had,
analogy.
Tom?
If you
It's been a quarter century.
If you haven't been with a woman in 30 years, we know what to call you. Okay, so I'm just saying
Come on,
that's the
Tom.
Dallas Cowboys. Okay,
Oh,
that's all
Lord.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I think it's time for a break on that one. Tom's going to go ahead and slide in an advertisement.
Friendship, Chrysler Cheap Dodge Ram.
Let me slide that right in there.
Oak Street Extension, Forest City, North Carolina. Give them a call at 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan, 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661.
All right, we come back. We've got NBA, we've got NASCAR, we've got Yetis, we've got Jose Canseco, and more on ATCBroadcasting.com.
Question: where do you buy a used car with a lifetime warranty? The answer is Friendship in Forest City. Friendship has lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. That's Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City.
Has that appliance gone on the blink and you can't find the right part anywhere? Well, now you can, because Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby is the largest appliance parts supplier in this area. They can even ship direct to your home. Come on in now. Parts are in stock. And don't forget, they have a great selection of refrigerators in all sizes and priced to fit your budget. That's Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Online at HendrickAppliance.com and see the page at WhatsAppShopper.com.
The Tar Heels
To the right baseline.
are here.
Floats it way up in the air and in.
Catch the six-time national champion Tar Heels in action
He got it! 0.3 of a second.
all season long.
Toward left side. He's going to go hard, heavy. Contact. Got the basket and the foul. Holy cow.
Right here on your home for Carolina basketball. The Tar Heels Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
I'm Terry
Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold, where we play your favorites from the 80s and 90s. This week, my special guest will be Neil McCoy from his ranch in Texas. We'll get caught up on everything going on with Neil, including his daily Pledge of Allegiance with his fans. We'll also play a bunch of Neil's hits. That's Neil McCoy with me this week on Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
There she is.
Cody? So you didn't get what I told you to?
Dad, I did my research.
Let's see what he can do. Not bad.
What do you think?
Not bad. Not bad.
So?
He likes it.
I knew he would.
Your Coyote dealer is Western Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 West intersection in Vail. For years, Hicks Go Forth at Car Fair Auto Sales on the Bessemer City Road in Gastonia has been providing our area with the finest in late model cars, trucks, and vans. And at Car Fair Auto Sales in Gastonia, they feature on-the-lot financing. Come talk with Hicks about your next vehicle purchase. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, Saturdays 8 till 2. Call 704-865-8024. Car Fair Auto Sales, 1320 on the Bessemer City Road in Gastonia.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. The crew is going down the court on the racetrack, hitting the diamond on the mound, and probably something else sports related.
Hey, I gotta give him proud of that, man.
Wow.
That's pretty good, JP.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you write any of that down?
No.
He had to.
No. I just kind of remembered what you said you were about to talk about. I was like,
Okay.
all right.
You did good,
Down the
JP.
court was baseball, on the racetrack with NASCAR, and then the mound with
Baseball.
baseball. Yeah.
Down the court was baseball.
All right, JP, we
Okay,
appreciate your
never mind.
efforts, and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, last weekend we had Yetis Baseball on YouTube. We got it again this week on Wednesday, March 17th, 4 o'clock. They play USC Salkehatchie. Sounds like an Alan Jackson song, don't it, boys? It was not a good weekend, I'll say that. If you're watching, you might want to close your eyes and ears or whatever. Hunter and I talked a little bit about this Monday, so he kind of knows kind of what happened. But let's just say Saturday, Terry, they lost 30-2 in 2 games. They walked and hit 22-24 batters. I can't remember what Gene said. And with that said, I'm not 100% sure they didn't have more errors than either one of those numbers.
No, you also have to understand it's first year.
So it was bad.
you know.
It was bad news Yetis on Saturday.
Bad news, Yetis.
I mean it was bad. But like you said, Terry, first games, whatever. They're young. Now this team they're playing was number 23 in the country.
That's what I'm saying. You still
That's
learn.
big boys.
And a couple of the pitchers for CCC are not available. That's hurting them.
Right. They're. I guess the kid from Burns is probably going to be their ace. wasn't he?
Patrick Spangler's not playing. Avery Bridges
is who I was thinking about.
So I mean, they've got a couple kids missing.
Their pitchers, the guy who pitched the second day, the second game, was hitting 95 and 96 on the radar. Pumping it.
He's going to get drafted. That kid's going to get
right.
drafted. Yeah.
So, anyway, that guy was bringing it. So Sunday, Terry, let's go to Sunday. We had a little fun. Sunday was good for a little while. After 6 innings, we took out Hunter Shue. Well, Hunter Shue through 6 innings and only gave up no runs and 3 hits through 6 innings. But in the 7th, it got a little hairy. He hit the first batter. Next guy got a hit. Next guy got a double, so we go to the bullpen, right? We bring in, I can't remember the kid. Compton came in, and Compton got 2 strikeouts and a pop-up to end the inning, no runs. So they gave up 2. So after 7 innings, after 6.5, it was 4-2. Yetis put on 3 in the bottom of the 7th. So after 7, it's 7-2. Terry, after 8, they gave up 1 run in the 8th. It's 7-3 after 8, Terry. They lost 11-7.
It's tough. That's a tough loss, man.
All right, so in the 9th, up 7-3. First batter pops up to the catcher, Dustin Wilson, who makes a league of their own type catch, diving play back near the backstop. I mean, we've seen all kinds of fantastic play from the Yetis today. At this point, we're like, oh, it's coming home, boys. It's 7-3. You know, Bob Uecker up in the box, pouring my liquor. Next guy, chopper to third. Riley Cash from Crest throws him out at first.
So they did it all with 2 outs.
2 outs, top 9, 7-3. The next 7 batters score. 7-4, 3, 6, 7. Then another guy, yeah. Next 7 batters scored. Here's what's even bad about it. The third batter flew out to left in the gap. Left fielder goes off his glove. He hits the wall, and the ball pops out. The next batter, with that guy on third, knocks him in, gets a single. That's after, the next guy popped up to first base, and the first baseman dropped it. So the third guy, the third batter flew out and got dropped. The fourth guy got popped out. The first, it got dropped. The very next batter with that guy out first, home run.
That's tough, man.
So now it's 7-6, Terry, and I'm like, all right, boys, 2 outs.
Yeah.
All we need,
yeah.
Pop up, anything. Oh, goodness. Single, E5, single, home run, 11-7. Ball game. Yetis.
Wow.
Then in the bottom of the ninth, the guy got on first. The leadoff hitter gets on, Tom, and when he gets to first, the ball gets away. He looks to the inside of the bag instead of the outside of the bag and gets picked off after getting on an infield hit. Ball got loose. So he beat the throw to first. Ball got loose. He returns to the inside of the bag. They throw it back and tag him out. So it went from we're about to win this game, celebrate, to just, and I feel so bad for Gene. Like after Saturday, the team had rebounded. Hunter Shue pitched fantastic on the mound. I think 5 Ks in 6 innings, and then just the wheels fell off in the night. And in baseball, Terry, we say it every time we do a broadcast. I always see something you ain't never seen before.
Yeah, that's true.
They had 5 outs in the 9th inning.
That's tough.
And
I really feel for Coach Bowles because he's really working his tail off over there. So.
And you have to understand this first year, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to learn a lot about your team. It will
take time.
Oh, yeah.
Just like when UNC Charlotte finally got their football team.
Yep.
It's going to take time. Here we are, 5, 6 years now?
They've been at it a decade. They did make a bowl game last year.
Well, it's okay. So it's been 10. Listen, this stuff don't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
Well, and like when I first heard about the story when we talked about it Monday, and he said, well, the guys for the other team, he came out throwing 95, 96. Some people don't realize some of these JUCO teams are going to be hiding somebody in the background that they had to pick up because these college teams didn't have a roster spot for them that can play at the Division I and at the next level.
Or they didn't have the academics.
Right. So you're going to maybe run into somebody that throws heat, 95, 96 mile an hour, maybe close to 99 on a good day. You'll be lucky to see somebody like that, but I mean, what more do you want? We talked about it Monday. I think Gene and you were talking about how somebody had picked them to not even win a game this year. They have 5 or 6 wins on the season now. So, they're small things. Sure, you'd love to be able to preach to your team, guys, we're going to win it all this year. Absolutely. You're going to love you would love to hear that, but
what'd he say?
Charlotte has a football team? ?
Oh,
hey, how about them Yetis? They beat the number 5 team in the country on Tuesday. 6-5 victory at Rockingham Community College. They play today, 1 o'clock and 4 against Guilford Tech Community College at Ragsdale High School.
So after they lost 3 in a row, then they turn around and beat the 5th-ranked team in the country?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I'm just telling you, it was a wild weekend, wild games. I mean,
crazy. Anything can happen. Cinderellas.
All right, guys. We're going to be back in a minute. We're going to talk NBA and NASCAR to finish up the show on KDC Broadcasting.
Okay, class, listen up. Do not buy a car without a warranty. Just don't do it. At Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City, we have lifetime warranty on new and used cars. That's right, lifetime warranty on new and used cars. Unlimited time, unlimited miles. And through the end of this month, we're offering up to $4,000 over Kelley Blue Book value on your trade. So one more time, Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram has lifetime warranty on new and used cars, and you'll find us in Forest City.
It's a destination place. It's the new Sammy's Restaurant and Pub of Dallas. It's time to go. 6-ounce filet mignon, $21.99. 8-ounce filet mignon, $26.99. And big 14-ounce ribeyes are $21.99. Plus chicken wings all day, every day. And every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday with classic margaritas for $5. Corona or Corona Light, $3. Patron Silver is $7. And enjoy Sammy's brunch each and every Sunday. Sammy's Restaurant and Pub of Dallas, 130 West Trade Street in Dallas. Call 704-215-7461. Like them on Facebook, too. All Ray Tire in Shelby and All Ray Tire in Cherryville are moving together to bring you the best deals possible on your set of new tires. Now, for a limited time, buy any set of 4 new Nitto, Toyo, Pirelli, Cooper, or Nexon passenger or light truck tires and get up to a $70 MasterCard prepaid card. Coming out for all the details. That's All Ray Tire, located at 401 East Main Street in Cherryville, and All Ray Tire at 327 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. It's time to go picking. No, not that kind of picking. I mean picking at Gaston Pickers in Gastonia. Gaston Pickers has now reopened, and they are now open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., Sunday afternoons from 1 till 5. Come check it all out. 28,000 square feet of vendors with antiques, collectibles, furniture, and more. And vendor space is available by calling 704-852-7055. Check out some of their booths at whatsupshopper.com and online at gastonpickers.net. Like them on Facebook, too. Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia, or exit 19 off I-85. It's time to get ready. That's right, turkey season is just around the corner. And the Great Outdoors in Cherryville is everything you need to bag your bird. Just come on in and check out their merchandise. And it's time to get your boat ready for spring. The Great Outdoors is a full-service department and, of course, everything you need to catch that big one. And all remaining winter merchandise, 40% off. The Great Outdoors, Highway 150 east of Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook, too. Hear that? That's a brand new Shindawa chainsaw from Hojo Power Sports and Equipment in Shelby. And right now, Shindawa and Husqvarna chainsaws start at just $199. That's right, only $199 for a brand new chainsaw. And while you're there, see Hojo Power Sports and Equipment in Shelby for your trimmers, blowers, and sprayers. Get ready for spring with a stop at Hojo Power Sports and Equipment, located at 110 Grigg Street off South Lafayette Street in Shelby. Online at hojopower.net and see their page at whatsupshopper.com.
And we're back to dribble down the court and see that checkered flag for the last lap.
And remember, Friendship Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram is bringing you this chaos. 190 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-919-3001. Friendship Nissan is located at 156 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, North Carolina, 828-245-1661. Go see our friends at Friendship.
I did some research last night on this NBA playoff system. Have y'all guys looked at what the mess they're
It's
doing?
a play-in, isn't it? Like they have a play-in tournament to get to the playoffs.
Right. And let's have a play-in to see who's going to get smoked.
Uh-huh.
And these professional athletes get mad when they have to play in an all-star game to, represent the world, show the world who we are. And now I got to play against one of these sorry teams. All right, so here's what happens. Top 6 are in.
Okay. Hornets are just on the cusp.
7 and 8 play one game for the 7 seed. Okay? Then the loser of that game gets a home game
against the 9th seed.
Against the winner of the 9 and 10 seed play each other. And then they'll play for the 8th seed. So the 7th seed and the 8th seed will play for the 7th seed. And then the loser of that game will play for the 8th seed against the winner of the 9-10 game. So to make sense of that, if that does you, Terry, the Hornets and Hawks, if at the end of the day, would play for the 7th seed. Winner would get to 7th seed. Loser would have to play the winner of Raptors versus Pacers. And then the winners of those get the rights to play the 76ers and the Nets in the first round. Total waste of time?
Yes.
All right. Well,
When do they
Well,
even
it
play
all
that?
depends. It all depends on 76 whether Embiid plays or not.
Okay.
He's getting an MRI on his knee.
That could be huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they said they average like almost
12,
what,
13
12?
more
Yeah.
points.
Not only that, right
Without
now
him.
I've read a lot of places he's front runner for MVP. That could hurt his.
That really hurt the Sixers. Really hurt them.
But when do they play that? Is that like now? We don't do that now? Or are they playing that the day before the playoffs start?
End of the season, very end of the season.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
We still got the whole second half to go. We play
That's so dumb.
one game?
You can't just look at those two teams and say, "Oh my God, they might have a better record than they do. They deserve
Right.
that spot."
Like we're arguing over the 7th and 8th seed. This is the whole same thing with the NCAA tournament. Let's make the 67th and 68th best teams play in because we can't really decide.
It's like watching two hogs fight over an acorn.
Not just that, it reminds me of what was it? Game 163 in baseball.
Yeah.
Sometimes what was it? The Cubs
Like
and somebody else played it the other
the
year.
Red Sox and like it used to be you play the division, like say Red Sox and Yankees or Cardinals Cubs will play 20 times in a year, and then we'll say, well, we couldn't decide after that one, but this one, let's play one more
game.
and figure out that.
It's right.
So you can go 19-1 against a team in the regular season,
right? Yeah.
and then get beat by them in this stupid one game thing. But in the West, it would be San Antonio versus Dallas for the 7. Loser gets Golden State versus Memphis. Couple of notes real quick. LaMarcus Aldridge is asking out. I don't know where
They
he
bought
wants
him out,
to-
I thought.
Where does he want to even go? That's just weird. Does he want to go back to Portland or go east? Sixers, with Embiid having problems. The Nets just added Blake Griffin.
Boston take it.
Boston
oh my
take
God!
who?
Why would
We'll
Charlotte
give up Theus
not
and,
try and get LaMarcus
Thompson
Aldridge
for him. We'll give you 2
Well,
guys
it's not
for
like
one.
somebody will get him. It's where he wants to go. So he got balled out.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what
So
I'm
he's
saying.
going
Like,
to you think he's going to sign in Charlotte?
I'm just saying, whoever offers him the money,
Oh.
it just depends on where his heart is. Does he just want to
I
get
think
out
he's
of?
trying to
He just wants to
win.
get out of Popovich and will go play anywhere.
Is
for
it time for
money,
him to
or-
just retire?
No, he needs to go to
Popovich?
Boston.
Everybody's
Oh,
asking-
Popovich, maybe so.
Well, all you
No.
star players want to leave. Like
Well,
Jordan said, I'm only playing for Phil Jackson. Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge said, get me out of here. Like, what's going on with that? They're in the 7th seed. They're in a playoff hunt. 19 and 15, they'd be a 4th seed in the East.
Yeah.
And he wants out.
4 seed in the East is the East.
So where does
The
he
Heat,
want?
Aren't they? Yeah.
Golden State?
I don't know.
Phoenix?
Apparently, the Lakers are looking to try and make a run at one of the big men that'll be available, so he'll probably be on their list. The reason why they're doing that is because Anthony Davis can't stay healthy, and they don't have the size that they had last year when they had Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and Dwight Howard that they could throw at you at the block.
McGee's in Cleveland.
You guys called up Quinn Cook too.
Yeah.
I don't know where LaMarcus Aldridge goes. I thought it was stupid of him in the first place to leave Portland because he was so established there. And it really looks that way now too, because if he was with Portland, I think he could be pretty decent of help with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum and Carmelo Anthony. He's not peak Carmelo, but he still goes out there and gets you 20 a night if he wants. But
That gives up 40.
I mean, boy, does that hurt when CJ and Tara, you realize this. Anytime someone wants to say, well, he gives up 40, I really don't care. Because the NBA, everybody's going to give up 40 to somebody. They just don't care. It just depends on who they're going to do it to. As long as you got somebody that can match that 40 with maybe 50 or 60, you're going to win. And that's just how the cookie crumbles these
60-point game.
days.
That's a pretty good game right there.
Yes. Yeah.
How many 60-point games have been in the NBA this year?
I think there was one the other night.
One the other night.
Says Aldridge is not likely to go to Portland, actually. So I don't know where he wants to go. You're already in the playoffs, so if you want out of there, you want to get better.
Aldridge?
I don't know, but I'm trying to knock on the door.
Didn't he
Come
go to
on
Texas?
to Boston. Come on to Boston. We'll give you Theus. We'll give you Thompson. We'll give up 2 guys and a 3rd-round pick. For
Third round pick. There's no third round in the NBA.
Terry,
Jeez.
you don't have Terry. You don't have to give up anybody. He's got bought out, so he just chooses, and you have to sign him. So you don't have to give up anybody.
I mean, he's from Texas. He don't want to go to Houston. No, does he want to go to Dallas and help?
I mean, he could go to Houston if he wants because they let DeMarcus
Does he want to
Cousins
stay
go.
in the West?
Well, what I'm saying, Hunter, is that who said he's gonna want to go to a winning team, right? You don't say release me from a winning team and then go play for a sorry team.
Yeah, well, if it's the case, then does he still look at it like how a lot of people did? East is weaker than the West. I can go to a team in the East and probably make them pretty competitive for a playoff spot.
I think it has to be East. Why would Popovich release you if you're not going
could
to go
be in
East?
that conversation then, because as of right now, they are in a 7th spot. They could,
who could use him? Miami.
It wouldn't hurt. Well, I'll tell you what, it doesn't hurt because one thing that was really prevalent.
Didn't they start the year like really bad?
Mhm.
Now they're in the 4 seed.
Yeah.
In 2018
They've won,
now.
I think, 5 out of their last 6. I think I was reading that. What I'm saying is, the Heat could really use it because it was prevalent when you watched them play the Lakers in the championship game last year. The size of the Lakers was a huge mismatch. When the guys couldn't hit the threes for Miami and the Heat, that's how they got beat, is because they couldn't deal with all the size down low. So he could be a big body down low for the Heat. He would probably be a good matchup
And
in the East as
Anthony
well.
Davis or LeBron or somebody, one of them have to play him.
Yeah,
So
it forces them. And in the East, if you have a big body as well, that helps when you have to go up against Embiid in the 76ers, Milwaukee with Giannis. He's going to be wanting to play down in the paint the whole time. It just depends.
Heat 9-1 in their last 10, making a run, getting their act together, getting healthy.
Well, I think everybody, if you are a legit contender, is going to start to make a run right now, because LeBron James, I think in an interview after the All-Star break, I mean, he basically said what I think every NBA player does the whole first half of the season. He says, I was probably in gear 1, 2, and 3 right there. It's time to start ratcheting it up, getting ready. I'm like, well, exactly why I don't watch the first half of the damn seasons, because nobody's trying. I'm just watching a pickup game half the time, and whoever wins, wins.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
Qualifying in Phoenix, Keselowski on the pole, Larson on front row with him. After
Larson with a victory last week.
With getting his win, Hendricks.
Well, he paid the price, and
he did his time.
He paid the price.
He did his time.
So now, I mean, he's tremendously talented, and
He is.
I know a lot of people were upset with what he did, but yeah.
But now,
You-
one of
you
the
paid
first
the
people
price.
that come to him was Bubba Wallace, and I appreciated that.
And how much money
He
did
come
he?
to him.
How much money did he lose? That was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a punishment. Lost his ride. Lost an entire season.
You put
He was punished.
talent in this sport in a good car, it's going to come out to wins. And Kyle Larson, the past few weeks in general, not just talking about the one that he won, but the prior, I think, 2 races had at least top 10 finishes. I mean, he was up there competing every time. So you can't, in this sport, if you're in the right vehicle, you can't hide the talent. You're going to be there. So regardless, and he's sitting where on the pole? You think 4th, 5th?
He's second this week.
Second?
Only
I
4
can do it again.
drivers have been top 10 in all 3 races. No, in 4. Only 4 drivers have 3 top 10s. What is he doing, Terry?
Are you okay?
I don't know.
Do you think you can name the 4 drivers this season with 3 top 10s?
4 drivers with 3.
Only 4 drivers have 3 top 10s, 2 Fords, a Chevy, and a Toyota.
Okay, we will go with.
He just told you one of them.
Michael McDowell.
Well, there you go. That's the one I didn't think anybody was going to guess.
Yeah,
that's the Ford.
Never mind.
How many Fords were there?
2. Harvick, McDowell, Hamlin, and Kyle Larson. Michael McDowell with 3 top 10s. Keselowski, Bell, Logano, Truex, Kurt Busch, William Byron, Ryan Preece, Kyle Busch, and Alex Bowman with 2 top 10s. The most top 5s, Terry? Who's got the most top 5s, do you think? Guess that one?
Top 5.
Of those 4, you got to guess one of those.
I'm going to say Hamlin.
Yep, and no wins.
There we go.
No
And see,
wins,
Kyle
most
Busch,
top
his
5s.
last 2 races been in the top 10. So
Kyle
he's
Busch
starting to change it around.
Yeah, he's 14th in standings, Terry. They let him in this time.
Yeah.
If it ended. He wasn't in last week.
No.
He is 14th now. One is Hamlin. These guys with the wins is going to make it interesting. Larson, Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell, William Byron are all in the playoffs now. We're in Phoenix this week, getting ready for that. JP, what's our radio schedule today? I know we're missing the basket something for tonight, but go ahead.
Okay, today's the 13th. All right. We have America East Championship at 10:45 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
The NXS at Phoenix at 5 o'clock.
There you go.
Then we have the Pac-12 Championship at 10:15 p.m. And then tomorrow we have the NCS at Phoenix at 2:30.
That's NASCAR Cup Series is what the NCS stands for.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to forget that.
Yeah, I don't
NASCAR
think we.
Cup
Yeah,
Series. Go ahead.
I don't think we acknowledged the Shelby girls
Yes.
last week won the state championship. So
Right, because they played
congratulations to
after
Shelby.
us.
What's
didn't
that?
They? Didn't they? Or was that the week before? They played after our show, right?
Last
oh,
year.
yeah. Shelby girls won. Right, you're right, Tom. Scooter Lawrence coach.
Yeah.
The Holyfields, Miraja Pass, and Terry. They're all back next year.
How about that?
But
repeat back
well,
to back.
Jeff Jones last night on the pregame show said they're fired if they don't repeat, whoever the coach was.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Coach.
He said it like he kind of agreed with my silliness, kind of just off the. I think he was just trying to dismiss what I said, but he said, "Yeah," when I to my question. So I'm going to cut that audio for him and make sure that we have that for him. But yeah, Shelby with the state championship. Also last night, how about Coach Edens of Crest got his 100th victory ever in his career. And then we had our Hunter. Why don't you give our final scores one more time before we get out of here?
Final scores one more time.
I don't want to put JP through that again.
Kings Mountain 35-0 over Huss. Crest 42-6 over Ashbrook. South Point 42-24 over Kramer. R Central 56-27 over East Gaston. Shelby 47. Chase 41. Burns 54-7 over East Rutherford. Cherryville 33-12 over Highland Tech. St. Stephen's 30-0 over Bessemer City. Pine Lake Prep 64-12 over Christ the King. Thomas Jefferson 25, Mountain Island 21. Community School of Davidson 42-0 on Union Academy. East Lincoln over North Lincoln 40-30. 52-8 Bandies over Lincolnton 27-19. West Lincoln over Newton Conover. Watauga 23-6 over Hickory. Alexander Central 53-12 over Freedom. South Caldwell 50-0 over McDowell. High Brighton 43-0 over North Rowan. East Burke 37-6 over Patton. Bunker Hill 44-6 over Drawn, and West Caldwell 47-15 over West Iredell.
And East Burke 3-0.
East Burke is 3-0. How about the Cavaliers?
All right, guys. To end the show here, Yetis baseball will be Wednesday. We'll be live at 4:00. We'll be live about 3:45. They play USC Salcahatchee on YouTube. Go to YouTube WHS channel. 4:00 Yetis baseball next Friday night. Burns at Shelby on WHS. East Rutherford and South Point on Waggy. West Lincoln and Lincolnton on WHS on WLON. And Cherryville Ironman will be Community School of Davidson. And then of course we've got the
lifetime warranty on new and used cars at Friendship Nissan.